Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Monday, everybody. Mm-hmm. Welcome to it.
Yeah, the unofficial start of summer.
Yeah, for the kids and staff across the land.
And their parents who are being drugged to 17 different things. All in the effort to keep children busy.
Welcome to summer break. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What part of it's a break? I mean, for them, sure. They need a break. I actually had to stifle a laugh last week because we had a conversation about my daughter in summer school, and we came to the determination she's a little burnt out and she needs a break. When do I get mine? Can we just do that? Can we just say I'm burnt out, I need a break? Mm-hmm. Is that, allowed?
It's not right now. You can do it. It's not right now.
Fine.
So
I'll come back.
But, welcome to your summer break. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna lie, it was a little hard. Getting up, getting ready, getting in the shower. There's my wife just sawing wood there in the bed.
Yeah, I got to imagine being married to a teacher's got to make things it's just that added little dose of, ooh, dang it.
It was a bit salty for me to wake up this morning.
It's also been throwing me off, too, because, and I know that it's going to stay this way all summer, but it has been getting super light out super early.
It has.
It really messes with my head, my circadian rhythm. I woke up this morning and the sun was fully out. I'm like, oh, I'm late. And then I realized I really was late. And I panicked and sprinted to work. And
then welcome to Monday.
Boy, howdy. But the good news is things are starting to open back up, so it's going to make things easier for parents. We're not going to have to just hand our kids a tablet like last summer. I mean, the pool's open, the recreation center is open, the aquatic center, and the Burt Murphy Family Splash Pad opened up too.
Oh, nice. Very good.
Yeah, I drove by yesterday, and they were packed.
Good.
Yeah.
So, it's getting warm. Mm-hmm. These are things we need now, so it's supposed to be 100 all week, which will get you to the weather here in just a little bit. Yep. So, but yeah, welcome to summer.
But the good news is it looks like it's going to be warm and mostly sunny. So hopefully that'll dry a lot of stuff out.
Yeah, that's true. We although I know it teased rain. Did we even get any real rain? Like yesterday, I know we got
a little bit. It was mostly just enough to wet my car.
Yeah, and then was it Friday night or Saturday night?
Saturday night,
where it was rain, but then it was mostly wind.
No, Saturday night. Matter of fact, my daughter learned the meaning of the word rain check over the weekend because we had a literal rain check. I took her to the aquatic center. And they were so mad because they had to close down because there was a storm coming in.
Yeah.
So we got a literal rain check, and so I have a coupon to go back with them again.
Nice.
Yeah.
So they learned what a rain check was.
Yeah.
So when someone says, "Can I take a rain check?" and they're like, "That's a rain check."
She loves it. She's like, I get to go for free. I'm like, you get to go for free every time. When do you pay? When is this ever out of your pocket? She's stoked. I got a coupon.
Well, one of these days you get up there and just look at her and say, they're pony up.
That's on you. What? I thought we were going Greek.
Yeah. You got a rain check. But, happy summer, everybody. Welcome to it. How was your weekend other than a few rain checks?
Other than that, it was good. Kids are with mom for the weekend. I think this is actually the start of an interesting couple of weeks. My in-laws are going to Minnesota. So we are losing our childcare for a couple of weeks.
So a few adjustments being made to the family schedule to make sure kids aren't left unattended. Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
There might be a little more time when they're actually here. And I've already gone over it with my kids. I said, look, if you're going to be here, you get to pick one of Daddy's toys to play with, and that's it.
No.
I'm not going to have you messing up my whole collection.
Oh.
That's right. You can bring all the toys of yours you want, but if you want to mess with Daddy's toys, you only get one.
That's got to be rough on Hunter.
Sure it is.
I mean, there's a boy sitting there, and he's surrounded by a bunch of action figures.
How rough is it on Daddy when I see him sitting there shoving Penta El Cerro Miero into his mouth? It sort of sticks in my head. When you're tearing off the arms of John Moxley, it's rough.
There's some issues there. You got time on the couch.
My toys. This is how I deal with my own impending psychosis. Okay?
Dad and the kids fighting over here the toys.
I mean, he has a black eye. Hey, should have kept his hands off my doggone Hangman Adam Page. I told him he got one.
Yeah. So that'll be fun. That's next week, right? Next week, all that's going
this
down.
This weekend next. Yeah.
This and next.
Oh, yeah, you won't be here for half of it.
Yeah.
The good news there. You get to bail out. So half my Hell Week is going to be Ultra Hell Week because then I also have to be Mike.
Next week, I'm going to the Grand Canyon.
That's right. I'm driving to a big old hole in the ground.
On a hover round.
Because you really should rent one just for the.
If I get away with it, boy howdy, would I? Yeah. Yeah, if I get away with it, if I could somehow pull that move off without looking like a complete jerk, I would do that. But I hope everyone's having had a good weekend. We'll get to talk about our weekends this hour. We'll chit chat. We don't have a guest scheduled. Next hour, we're going to play our interview we had last week with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. She dropped in Thursday afternoon, and so for those that missed it Friday, we'll play it again here in the 8 o'clock hour.
Nice.
And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, Bob Power's going to join us. He's popped in from time to time, telling us about different dances and veterans meetings and things happening around town. Well, a vet rep for Congresswoman Yvette Harrell is going to be having a meeting later this week. I believe it'll be at the American Legion Post building on Montana. And so Bob's coming in and tell us all about that and give us all the information. So he'll fill us with all that information here about 9:15 or so.
Very good.
Plus, we'll have all of your features that include the news, both of the national variety and the local variety.
Spicy.
Yeah. It is Monday. That means we'll have a fresh livestock report with Smiley Wooten for you and whatever else we can come up with for today's show.
Indeed.
Yeah. So I popped on my Facebook here before I got on the show just to see if there's anything there we need to discuss on La Radio. And, you know how you get the memories of your thing? So 8 years ago today, I guess I was in Las Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Nevada.
No, I was like New Mexico, the big time.
Nevada. And I guess we went to Madame Tussauds Museum.
Oh, okay.
Because I shared about a half dozen pictures. It's just better to let people see them rather than just say it. But so the first picture is me and old Abe. Then there's a picture of me and Ben Franklin and George Washington.
Wow.
And then a couple pictures of my wife and a shirtless Chris Angel. And then
that's not a wax feature. He actually works at the museum.
Yeah,
he's a janitor now.
Then there's another picture of her with what's his name from The Hangover and what's the Bradley Cooper.
Oh, Bradley Cooper. So you guys got to the museum and you went, ooh, history, and she went, ooh, shirtless man.
Well, for most of it, but then the cherry on top of that pictures, a group of pictures, is me and a half naked Jenna Jameson.
Oh.
So it's Abe Lincoln, George Washington,
who also works there as a janitor, right?
Ben Franklin, and Jenna Jameson. Those are of all the wax figures I chose to have my picture with.
That's a party. Now, when you say half naked, which half?
She has a G-string on.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll show you the pictures.
I'm sure you will. NSFW.
Well, it was a museum, so the model is posed in a position not to see anything, but it is very alluring.
Still, you got to do one of those things where you do a 3D wraparound. You're like, sure, I can get them angles. Then it's like Schrodinger's box. It's like, okay, if they're going to angle it to where you don't see the inside of, so are they going to design the inside? It's like in video games, you know, you see buildings, but those buildings can't be opened, so they're not going to waste the resources to design the inside of those buildings.
Right.
Got to wonder if it's the same thing with Madame Tussauds.
Yeah, it's true. You know, I get where you're Schrodinger's cat there. I got that reference.
I don't know where the box is. That's what I'm getting at. You don't know if the box is there or not.
So I watched Big Bang Theory, so that's how I know Schrodinger's cat, and I know that theory. That's my science for the week.
They dove into it pretty heavily in Rick and Morty too.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, that's where I learned.
So I get it there too. But anyway, who says you can't learn nothing from TV?
Doggone right. Half the scientific concepts I learned from cartoons.
By the way, pro tip: if you're going to plan a trip to Vegas, which apparently I did 8 years ago, anything more than like 3 days or 4 days is more than enough.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's a lot going on, though, dude.
I know, but like a week of it.
Now, in fairness, everything costs so much money.
And you get a little, I don't know, after like I think we spent like 5 days, and towards the end I was like, I'm Vegas out. Like I'm just.
Is it the overstimulation?
Maybe.
See, I'm not a gambler, but to me there's enough other stuff there to keep I want to go to Omega Mart. I'm dying to go to Omega Mart. For those who don't know, Meow Wolf in Santa Fe, set up a second art installation in Las Vegas. There at Area 52. No, I'm sorry, Area 15. And it's called Omega Mart. It's basically a supermarket, but in an alternate dimension. So there's like all kinds of weird stuff that happen. I'm dying to go to this place.
I remember seeing a thing for it. I can't remember where it's at in Vegas. It's in one of the casinos, right? Like on the Strip.
Well, there's a place there called Area 15. It's like all kinds of like different art exhibits.
Okay.
And it's one of the things there.
Yeah.
But there's that. I mean, there's shows and stuff. Yeah, there's stuff to keep my interest, but I'm not a gambler, so I think that side of it would lose my interest.
I guess just after like the 5th day of just the bells and the whistles and the flashings and you walking and everyone accosting you to try to get to do this and that, it just got. It was like, all right, I'm done with all this. I'm tired of it. I just want to walk around in a normal place that isn't. Full of bells and whistles and trying to, shiny things spinning in my face.
See, Vegas would be fun, but I feel like if I have my druthers and get my one trip, New York City, just as working in radio for as long, that's my mecca.
Yeah, it's neat to go and visit. And I've been, I haven't been to New York City in a long time, but back, like my brother went to college there, so actually that's when I got to go a couple times during that time and go into New York City. Right, I've been to upstate New York gazillion times, family and things, but I never been to like New York City but a couple times, and it mostly was when my brother went there and got to visit and go up the Statue of Liberty and do all that stuff. But yeah, it's neat. I mean, to be honest, my favorite part of New York City and all that was kind of hitting the restaurants and hitting a little, which it's expensive, but boy howdy, it's like, man, the best place to get pizza is right there, and then the best Chinese food's like three doors down, and then oh, by the way, there's a delicatessen with great bagels and stuff.
It's like there's Katz's, like all the iconic places, sure, but like I want to go to like Radio City. And this sounds silly, but I would love to tour the Sirius XM like building, just because that's the one thing that stands out. Like a lot of the icons that I look up to worked or have worked there. So yeah, I'd love to see that place. My tour of New York would be a little bit more obscure than most, but there's lots of sites up there that I would love to take in firsthand.
And I'm going to go back because I at some point.
Well, you haven't been since like I'm assuming 9/11.
I have not. Yeah, last time I was in New York City, the World Trade Center was still there. So I would like to go back and see that museum and see everything. About that, which, by the way...
Speaking of, segue time.
Segue time.
Yeah. Unintentional segue, even.
Yeah, exactly. Accidental. Au naturel.
Ooh, in the wild.
On Friday, we're doing a mega show. Mega show.
It's like we're basically making the Zordon of morning shows.
Yeah, it's a
all forces combined. With the morning Artesia.
All points. It's a morning show battle royale.
That's right. Over the top rope. Somebody's gonna walk out in a cast.
3 men enter, 1 man leave. But anyway, so on Friday. We will be doing the morning show combined. Sean's show, Gene's show, and my show. All the shows that we do are going to be all simulcasting at the 9/11 memorial that's going to be in Artesia later this week. They're going to take it down. I think Wednesday night it comes to Roswell. It's going to stay the night here. And then Thursday, they're going to have an escort and take it all down to Artesia and set it up there. And then Friday, I believe they'll have the opening ceremonies, opening day. We're going to do the morning show from everything out there. And then for the next 2-3 days after, through the 14th, people can go and visit the Tunnel to Towers mobile 9/11 exhibit, which has never been in New Mexico up until now. This is the first time it's been in New Mexico.
It's been to every state except this one, right?
As far as I know, but don't quote me on that.
States. I don't know about Hawaii,
I don't think it's been to Alaska, but don't quote me on that, but I think you're right. And then it's going to be a really cool thing. But we'll talk more about it leading up to the week, and then we're going to do the show out there on Friday. So, but it's I'm looking forward to seeing it because unfortunately I was thinking about because I'm going to be gone next week, so I was like, man, I'm gonna have time to see it, but now that we're doing the show out there on Friday, I'll get a chance to go and check it out and do all that.
You'll be one of the first.
That's true. I know the first day, the 10th, is for first responders only, and then I believe the 11th, 12th, 13th, and 14th. The 11th being the opening day, and then through the 14th, it'll be through the public. But that first day, the 10th, strictly first responders only. No one else is permitted to go in during that time.
And that makes sense. You want them to have their kind of their uninterrupted time where they can kind of, have their moment and kind of fallen brothers.
But we're gonna do a whole show on Friday out there. We're gonna have the curator of the museum there, who is a fire mark. We actually had a Gene played an interview we had with him. He was one of the fire chiefs of one of the precincts down there during 9/11. He was actually out of town when the planes hit the tower, and he was in I think Bermudas or Bahamas, somewhere in that area, and out on his family vacation. And so he was kind of talking about getting him back to the States, and then he was out with the crews and helping with the rescue and all that. So vacation ended real quick, and he was getting back into the States and all that. But and so it's pretty neat. We'll get to talk all about that on Friday.
That's one of those situations where you're like, right before you go on your vacation, you're like, look, don't call me, okay? Unless, I don't know, the building collapses. Don't call me.
There's always a scene in the movies, right?
Right.
Don't call me unless the world's coming in.
Look at his phone. Sir, the building is collapsing. You know what? This might be a reason to end my vacation a little early.
Yeah. It's like, don't call
me. What's the worst that can happen?
You ain't lying. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like we say these things, and this time it's like, sir, we need to come.
Yeah. It's kind of mess you up, like with your anxiety levels. Like, you can take a vacation. The building's not going to catch on fire and burn. Oh no!
From there on out. But, so that's going to be coming up this Friday here. So we hope you tune in and enjoy, and of course make some time to head to Artesia and see the 9/11 memorial.
And with a proper heart, I make light of this, but obviously there's a lot that's going into this, and a lot you want to go in with the right mindset and approach.
Yeah, I'm very curious what it's. Like, is it going to be kind of a trailer full of artifacts, or is it going to be like stories and pictures?
That's
I'm kind of curious what it's about.
Considering, because the way they have it, or the way I've had it explained to me, is it's sort of like a tunnel telling of the whole thing. Okay,
like a timeline through a tunnel kind of thing. Okay,
like you're walking through the experience of it itself.
Kind of give you a just a slice.
You know what's and this will put things into some perspective. I was a young, middle to older teenager when it happened. The one thing that stood out in my head was Nickelodeon. Of all channels, Nickelodeon was showing footage from the news station. Like, they preempted children's programming and started showing the live feed. And that's when I knew that was okay, this is a big deal.
Yeah, they're messing with my cartoons.
Right.
Here's
Yeah, they're messing with children's programming to show them what's going on. There's something really serious going on here.
Yeah, I happened to have the Today Show on in the background when it all went off. So, because I think I was kind of just getting up and getting around out and about when the stuff started going on, and because it was 7 in the morning when it all first stuff happened.
It was 8:40 something Eastern, so I want to say it was 6 something our time.
I think I remember waking up, and I think the first plane had just hit, and then I remember seeing the second one.
And that's
the coverage hit.
There's so little footage of the first plane hit because it was all just reports. Then, over time, you started to find, okay, well, there were a couple of film crews doing different projects around New York.
Yeah.
And so they were able to catch different angles of the first plane.
Yeah.
That's the only footage that anybody actually has of that first plane hitting.
But I remember seeing the second one on TV going in, because that was the moment I was like, ooh,
yeah,
this is serious.
Well, because they were discussing, in your example, because I was watching today too. They were sitting around discussing what the first plane could have been. Could have been, a mistake, a missed trajectory.
Yes.
And then they showed the second plane hitting, and they said, okay.
Now this ain't a mistake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then at the time I remember, because I want to say They definitely had the reports of the Pentagon going, and then the Pennsylvania, the one that ended up landing in or crashing in Pennsylvania. But I think there was rumors of another one or two other planes. They were kind of, there was, like at the time, they were still trying to figure it out. And I remember there was like reports of a couple planes that they just hadn't accounted for yet. And they're like, all right, we're missing this one. It's like, all right, where's that one going? And turns out they weren't part of this. But a
lot of people don't remember either. For like a good solid 2 months after everything went down, maybe even longer. I was, kind of young at the time. The skies were shut down over the United States. There was no air.
Every plane on the planet was grounded that day,
which was crazy because they showed like some of the flow maps of like normal days air travel versus like the days following 9/11, and there's like 2 planes in the sky in the entire world.
Yeah,
it was
crazy.
Nuts.
It was crazy, but do put it on your calendars for this weekend and next on checking that out. All right, 7:26. Let's go ahead and do some weather, and then good news is. Well, I don't know. If you like hot, then there's plenty of good news for you. Here's your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will be drying out around our area today, so we should have plenty of sunshine and temperatures will be hot. Our afternoon high today around 100. Overnight will be clear with low to mid 60s, and then tomorrow's highs between 100 and 103 and sunny. Upper 60s and clear on Tuesday night, then a few more hot days coming up Wednesday and Thursday, low 100s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Already 72 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 44%, and winds currently out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Yeah, gonna be hot, and gonna be hot for pretty much all week here. 101 under sunny skies today. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 miles per hour this afternoon. Mostly clear skies tonight. Overnight low of 66 with south winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Tuesday, sunny, high of 103 with southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear, overnight low of 67, southwest winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. Wednesday, sunny, hot 106. Winds out of the southeast at 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 69. Thursday, another sunny and hot 106. Yeah, jeez. Thursday night, mostly clear, overnight low of 70. Friday, sunny and hot 104. Yeah. You're just like, I'll just take 95. That'd be nice. No, 90s, 100, 105, 106. And then looking at the weekend, sunny 103 on Saturday. And the century marks. Highs right around 100 on Sunday. But, yeah, every day for the next week, 100 and up for highs for temperatures there. So, yeah, delightful. All right, it is 7:29. Let's go ahead and get you into your Roswell Livestock Report with Smiley Wooten. We'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning, this is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. A good June run this week with a nice selection of all classes of cattle, especially high-quality native calves and yearlings, pairs, bred cows, also 25 to 30 roping-sized calves and 30 to 40 baby beef-type calves. We expect to sell 1,000 head. Break it down like this: 175, 200 weighing cows and bulls, 125, 150 pairs bred cows, 600, 650 calves and yearlings today's sale. Will include 40 cows, Mr. Larry Hooper, Deming, New Mexico, excellent quality 90% black, white face Angus crosses. Cows with 200 or about 20 calves at the side out of high quality Angus bulls. Remainder be bred the same. Cows be 7 to 9 years old. 30 cows, Mr. Jake Van Winkle, Weed, New Mexico. Excellent quality black, white face Angus cross cows with 18 calves at side out of high quality Angus bulls. Gentle, 5 to 7 years old. 30 calves, Circle Bar Ranch, Balmoral, Texas. Excellent quality black, white face Angus crossbred calves, medium condition, 350, 500 pounds. 17 calves, Mr. Larry Hooper, Deming, New Mexico. Excellent quality black Angus cross calves, 275, 400 pounds. 18 yearlings, NK Cattle Company, Portales, New Mexico. Good quality crossbred light yearlings. Cattle wean 100 days, 2 rounds of shots, bunk broke, 550, 650 pounds. 49 calves, Mr. Thomas Richardson, Salt Flat, Texas. Good quality black and red Angus and Brangus crossbred calves. Cattle weaned, thin condition. 300, 400 pounds. Sale time this morning, 9 o'clock. Sell pairs of bred cows about 9:45 to 10. Sell the baby calves and roping calves about 10 to 10:15. Be-on calves and yearlings about 10:30. We expect to sell 1,000 head here today. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of the state's license, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
Attention Artesia. As part of the 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit visit to Artesia, New Mexico, June 11th through the 14th, the Artesia 9/11 Memorial Foundation is inviting you to be a part of the arrival of the exhibit on Thursday, June 10th. We would like you to join 343 total Artesians to line Main Street between 1st and 5th as the mobile exhibit arrives in Artesia. You will be holding a picture of one of the firefighters who lost their life on that tragic day in Manhattan. If you would like to be a volunteer for this memorable event, please go to Artesia City Hall on Monday, June 7th from 1:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. and receive your volunteer ticket. Please help us welcome this tribute to the heroes of 9/11 to Artesia and New Mexico. This message in support of the Artesia 9/11 Memorial Foundation is made possible by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company.
The temps are high, and so are the savings. The sizzling summer savings event is on now at Roswell Nissan, with the largest pre-owned inventory in the region, and nearly every pre-owned vehicle on the lot marked down $500 to $2,000 or more. Like a certified pre-owned 2020 Pathfinder with $2,500 off. Stop in and spin the wheel for your chance to win AirPods, a smartwatch, or even $500 cash. Put a little sizzle in your summer during the sizzling summer savings event at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West 2nd.
Oasis Computers has been Roswell's trusted source for home and small business computers for over 30 years, and they continue to be your best resource for computer repairs, operating system upgrades, web root managed antivirus, special orders, and more. Oasis Computers is now open from 8 to 1, Monday through Friday to better serve you. Service calls by appointments and after-hour appointments are available too. Stop by Oasis Computers at 1703 North Garden or call or text 575-625-9141 for even faster service.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 34 minutes after 7 o'clock. Yeah, you heard the Navajo ad talking about volunteers for the Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit. Again, June 11th through the 14th. The actual, like I said, on June 10th at 1 o'clock, they're going to have a full escort from Roswell to Artesia this on the 11th. On the 10th, I'm sorry, on June 10th here, which is Thursday, I believe. And then they'll set up and have the stuff for the first responders, things like that. And then June 11th, from 9 to 10, they'll have the opening ceremony. They'll have the Border Patrol do an honor guard, the national anthem, and all that good stuff. And then the actual exhibit will open to the public between 10 and 4 on June 11th. So they'll have the opening ceremony at 9, and then at 10 they'll open it up. And then it'll be from 10 to 4, June 11th, June 12th, June 13th, and June 14th. And it'll be in Artesia at Beige Veterans Park there at City Hall, 511 West Texas. Not too far from the, let's see, what statue would that be? I believe it is is it the Vaquero? No, the Vaquero's by La Fonda. It's the Rustler. It's the Rustler.
Gotcha.
That's one down a little farther. The Trail Boss is by the Brewer. The
teacher. Or what are
The
they?
teacher. Yeah. Well, there's three. Okay.
So there's, I know Vaquero.
Well, they have several. There's three that are one series, and then the others are. I happen to be.
Are they in a different series? See, I didn't know that. I thought they were all part of like the same like.
No. The Derek.
like the state quarters.
Yeah, the Derek Floor statue. The picture or this picture. The picture of the teacher. The that's all one. That's different. Then there was actually the three parts that represent the ranching industry there, and so the first one was the Trail Boss, and that's the one by the Brewer Station, and it's all supposed to set up like a cattle drive. Right. So the Trail Boss is set up there by the Brewer, and he's there kind of watching the herd going through, and then over by La Fonda Restaurant, that's the Vaquero, the cowboy. He's the guy that's there, moving the herd. And then in the roundabout on Texas, a couple blocks north, a block or two north of the Trail Boss or the Vaquero is the rustler, and that's the one who's stealing the cattle, and so those the Trail Boss came first, but they're three different artists, but they're all part of the same series.
I don't know. I mean, I understand the hard times and the Scrabble days of westward expansion and all that, but it seems like they had it a lot easier than they're making it out. I mean, they had a La Fonda right there. Stop off, have a nice lunch, grab yourself a nice cup of iced tea, and then get back on the trail.
Yeah, Trail Boss right there. Grab burrito.
Right. You got a brewer right there.
Some
get yourself a Coke Zero.
Some jerky.
Get back on the trail.
Some jerky.
Some Jack Links. Heck yeah. The other one, right, all the way down there, you got a roundabout. Just get your cattle going in a circle. They're keeping themselves busy, and then you can kind of go down to the McDonald's. It's like a block away.
Yeah, they got the rustlers over there by the deli and all that.
Westward expansion is so easy.
You gotta hit McAllister's. He's right there.
Yeah, exactly. You got a fresh Caesar salad right there at your fingertips. Cool greens.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what he's talking about.
They sell sushi down at Finn's. I mean, come on. You have variety. There's options.
I know. Well, but they wouldn't have got a statue.
That's true. That's true.
But that's what those are about.
I think that's really the skill that gets overlooked the most about cowboys, vaqueros, their ability to stand still for a long time and let statue makers sit there and carve. That's holding their horses in.
And if I remember, because I just happened to be working at the matter of fact, around the time I started in Artesia, about the couple months before the Trail Boss, the first statue was unveiled. So the second one, the Vaquero, which is the one by La Fonda, that actually is designed by an NFL player.
Really?
He was a lineman that played
Chad Ochocinco.
No, he was a lineman. He played I know he played for the Bills. I can't remember what other teams he played for. He played for like 3 teams. But, he was, I believe, an offensive lineman.
Oh, that's cool.
And he designed and sculpted the Vaquero. And I remember meeting him. He was like 6 times my size. He shook my hand, and I have tiny hands. Yeah. And he shook my hand, and I think it was like putting a baby hand in an adult hand.
This is what it's like when a baby goes into a Bjorn.
Oh, yeah, I remember all that. But I can't remember his name. But, yeah, he was a lineman for the NFL.
Nice.
Yeah. And I want to say he lives up Colorado or Montana or South Dakota.
And that's like what he does now? Like he's retired and he just does statues? I
guess he's a sculptor. Yeah, nice. That's kind of his. Because I remember, because they don't just whip one of these out. They make like little model ones, and then it gets to the big one. And then they have a whole thing where he doesn't make it there, by the way. He makes it at his studio, and they truck it in. Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, it was pretty cool. I remember all that. And then the Rustler was the final one that they had a big, and I want to say there was a year or two between each one. It wasn't like all 3 came at one time. Yeah. It was Trail Boss was the first one. I remember that. But yeah, so there you go. That's the statues. They just like their statues in our t-shirt. But
I get it. I love I'm a fan of a good statue too. I like very ornate places that birds can sit and or poop.
There you go.
Yeah.
Maybe you should have that in your bathroom. Just statues.
Just a statue.
Places where you can go.
There you go. What's that for? Oh, I poop on that.
That's for me. Of course, we had graduations.
Yes. Congratulations.
Everybody's official now graduates. Congratulations to all of you. You're on your own now.
Yep. Including, if I can give a special shout out to Sean Smith. He graduated from, I believe it was Roswell High.
Nice.
I could be wrong. I think it was maybe Goddard. I'm not sure. But congratulations, Sean. Kid I've known for a few years, and just kind of an awesome dude, and he finally made it. So congrats.
Good deal. Yeah, sure everybody's happy and got their, ready to go on to their next phases, and very proud of everybody. Rough year, but you made it. Congratulations, and now it's time to keep going. Keep keeping that nose to the grindstone and going on to that next phase of life. It's
kind of that mindset of, if you can make it through this last couple of years, you can probably make it through anything. And I was wrong. It's actually Goddard High School he graduated from. So congrats to Sean, class of 2021.
So he graduated Saturday was Goddard.
Yep.
Right? Yeah. Friday was Roswell. Saturday.
Yeah, and he actually posted up I'm not sure if this is their video. I was going to say the whole video of the thing, but
is it our video?
No, it's not. It's theirs. But yeah, but congratulations to Sean and to everybody, all the class of 2021 for doing the big thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So now I know everybody's pretty excited about that. But now, of course, we got UFO Fest coming. By the way,
Alien Fest.
Sorry.
Right.
UFO Festival weekend with all this stuff going on. And Alien
Galacticon,
Fest.
all the craziness.
All of that stuff is happening that same week. I got family coming into town that week, too.
Oh, really?
My Kim's stepmom. And they're coming in. They're going, and her husband's going to spend with us 4 or 5 days during that time during UFO Festival and 4th of July.
Do you ever feel obligated to like when Kim's family comes in or your family comes in? Do you ever feel like obligated to I have to make a good time for them?
Yeah, always.
Yeah.
Anytime I've got family or relatives to town, I feel like I got to plan some agenda of things that are interesting to do.
What's funny
in
is
our area,
it's kind of the exact same thing that we all used to do as a kid, and now that I have kids, I can kind of watch as an adult and see, because I know I've done this too. When somebody new comes over, you want to show them everything. Like you go to your room, like, oh, this is my, and I've seen Rhiannon do that. Like if somebody new will come to the house and she'll go and just one by one.
Hey, look at these things.
That's basically what we're doing as adults when people come to our area. It's like, hey, I want to show you this, I want to show you that.
Kind of.
It's basically like our version of here. Look at my new blanket.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Hey,
look at all the cool stuff I have.
Hey, don't act like you're not impressed. But yeah, it is. Definitely. And since I think this is the first time they've come to. Since we've lived in where we're at now, her husband, they got married a year ago. Matter of fact, 1 year ago we were going to Texas for their wedding.
Oh wow!
If you remember,
I do remember. Yeah,
yeah. So they're going to come visit us here.
Nice.
And so it's been a few years since she's been back to visit, and then then Randy's never been out. So they're going to come, and we'll do some sightseeing. I think we're going to take them to Carlsbad or take them to Lincoln, and I think they want to do the Doso, so we're going to, do the things we all like to do and stuff here. And, of course, we'll go take them to some of the aliens and UFO stuff that's going on. So we'll do all of that. So we'll do because, UFO Festival, generally speaking, I'm either working or laying low.
Yeah, because that's the thing to do when you live around here is avoid at all costs.
So basically, we're gonna go and we'll take them around and do some stuff and go, hit the sightseeings and all that. All right, it's 7:44. Probably should pause for some local news. So we'll do that now, and then we'll also get you into your SRM business update, Kim Commando update, quick break as well. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Don't go away.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. New summer hours for the Roswell Rec and Aquatic Center. The indoor pool is open weekdays for lap swimming from 6 to 9, 10:30 to noon, and 5 to 7 p.m. Also, Saturdays from 10 to noon. The outdoor pool is open 7 days a week now from noon to 6. Pool programs include water aerobics on weekdays at 8 and also on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Water Pilates is also offered on Fridays at 9 a.m. The rec center is open weekdays 6 to 8, Saturdays from 10 to 8, Sundays from noon to 8. A team for the city of Roswell was part of an inspection tour of sites connected to the flooding in South Roswell and Chaves County. The tour started at Two Rivers Reservoir, about 12 miles west of the city. Two Rivers is a 60-year-old flood control project constructed and managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. Rocky Dam was also observed discharging water. It was estimated the water would continue to flow for 7 to 10 days. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Think you've seen it all with Facebook's never-ending attempts to market your personal information? Kim Commando with another Facebook shocker brought to you by SimpliSafe. True security comes from human connection. SimpliSafe is there when you need them. Get a free security camera at simplysafecam.com. Hidden away in the corporate maze of Facebook is a woman named Nona Jones, who has the title of Leader of Facebook's Global Faith Partnerships. I'm not sure what that means, but I do know that Facebook has found a way to capitalize its users' prayers. You heard me right. Here's how it works. You opt into Facebook's prayer posts, write up your prayer request, others read it. But instead of the like button, they hit a special pray button to show that they prayed for you. Now, some of you will like this. People praying through social media. But register me as a skeptic. Yes, I do believe in the power of prayer, but I also believe that Facebook's algorithms are all too often used in very diabolical ways. Why would this be any different? Get more tech news 24/7 at Commando.com. Does your printer have enough ink for another year of work reports and tax forms? If you print a lot or wish you can print a lot without worrying about ink, it's important to have the right printer. Epson is changing the game with their cartridge-free EcoTank printers that have supersized, easy-to-fill ink tanks and come with a ridiculous amount of ink, enough to print thousands of pages. Stop buying expensive ink cartridges and save yourself from the frustration of replacing ink cartridges ever again. With the Epson EcoTank, you don't have to worry about running out of ink. Now you can print all of your business documents, reports, tax forms, and your task list in color too. I just love mine. It has saved me so much time and money. Kiss expensive cartridges goodbye. EcoTank makes it easy. So make the switch today. Add the Epson EcoTank to your online shopping list so you can just fill and chill. Epson EcoTank printers. Available at Best Buy, Office Depot, Staples, and at Epson.com/EcoTankKim.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will be drying out around our area today, so we should have plenty of sunshine, and temperatures will be hot. Our afternoon high today around 100. Overnight will be clear with low to mid 60s, and then tomorrow's highs between 100 and 103 and sunny. Upper 60s and clear on Tuesday night, then a few more hot days coming up Wednesday and Thursday, low 100s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
It's time for the Chavez County Sports Report. Let's check out some baseball scores from over the weekend. Roswell split 2 with Carlsbad on Saturday, won the second game by a score of 3-1. Solid pitching from sophomore Cheeto Lomeli. Goddard, meanwhile, swept a pair from Portales on Friday. Get this, in the second game, a 15-3 victory. Senior Gabriel Campos was 4 for 4. 3 triples, a double, and 4 RBIs. NMMI split a pair with East Mountain on Saturday, winning the first one 6-5, but losing the second one 10-7. And it was Dexter losing at Sandia Prep in Albuquerque a couple of games there, 14-0 and 12-0. Gateway Christian, though, beat back Dora easy, 18-0 on Friday. Gateway's right back in action against undefeated Logan today. That starts at 2 o'clock. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. President Joe Biden is portraying the May jobs report as a jumping-off point for more spending on infrastructure and education. It's an argument for his agenda to keep growth going. But Friday's employment numbers also hinted at the limits of how much government aid can be pumped into the world's largest economy. The 559,000 jobs added were less than what many economists were expecting. The European Union and British regulators opened dual antitrust investigations Friday into whether Facebook distorts competition in the classified advertising market by using data to compete unfairly against rival services. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 179 points to close at 34,756. The Nasdaq up 200 to 13,814. And the S&P 500 up 37 points to 4,229. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
When you need an oil change, but you don't want to sit at the shop all day, call Nazca Quick Lube. They're new to town, and what makes them unique is that they come to you. As your car is parked at work or wherever, they will change the oil and provide a tire rotation and restore your headlights, so you don't have to spend hours sitting at the shop. Call 808-9134. That's 808-9134. Nazca Quick Lube. Let their quality service come to you.
Customizable office equipment is one stop away at PTS Office Systems. Of course, you and the business next door do different things, so you need different office equipment. PTS Office Systems has fully customizable office equipment in stock, waiting to be delivered to your business. Get fully customized office equipment to meet your office's specific needs. The day and age of one-size-fits-all office equipment is gone. Shop around at PTS Office Systems today at 217 North Main in downtown Roswell.
Otto von Bismarck is said to have quipped, "Laws are like sausages. It's better not to see them being made." While that's a great line, we respectfully disagree. We're New Mexico Foundation for Open Government, a nonpartisan, not-for-profit organization that exists to promote transparency in government, so you not only know what's happening, but why, and by whom. Because what you don't know can hurt you. Visit nmfog.org and become a member today. Sponsored by New Mexico Broadcasters Association.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 7:51. A couple things I want to put on your radar here now that the kids are out for summer here. The summer lunch programs will be gearing up. Here in Roswell, they'll be gearing up officially beginning June 10th. They are going now for folks around the county, though. The following Dexter schools have the grab-and-go locations for lunch and breakfast. Dexter High School, they've got grab-and-go happening from 10 a.m. to 11 for breakfast and lunch combo. You'll get each at 100 North Lincoln. There, again, that's at Dexter High. Midway Assembly of God Church at 63 Yakima Road in Midway. They're doing breakfast and lunch, and that's from 11 to 12. And then the Midway Volunteer Fire Department, 6477 Templeton Road. They're doing a breakfast and lunch combo from noon to 1. So from 10 to 11, you go to Dexter High. From 11 to 12, you can go to Midway Assembly of God Church. And then from noon to 1, you can go over to Midway Volunteered Fire Department. For folks in Roswell, grab and go will be at Roswell High School, Goddard High School, or at Brendo Elementary School between 8 a.m. and noon, beginning June 10th through July 23rd, Monday through Friday. So that'll be happening here later this week on Thursday. I believe will be the first day there because, today's the 7th. So, which, by the way, today's beginning day one for Camp Invention, all that. So good luck to all of the students and staff and parents and everyone that's going to be doing Camp Invention this week. They'll be gearing up for all that, actually probably right now, getting ready and gearing up for all of that stuff there. Also, 1 week from today, next Monday, the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico would love to invite you out for a ribbon-cutting ceremony for the new flag and brick installation that they have set up there at the Historical Society. It's located actually kind of right smack dab in between the Historical Society Museum and the Archives facility. There's that little parking area right in between, and you'll see the big flag and brick area right there. It's beautiful. But they're actually having the dedication and ribbon cutting ceremony and everything Monday, June 14th. It'll be at 5:30 p.m., which is Flag Day, by the way. And it will be there at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, 200 North Lee. Love to have folks come out and be a part of the celebration. And they're going to have refreshments, door prizes, and more. The Redcoats from the Roswell Chamber will be out there to dedicate the brick installation. And it's really cool. It's been a long journey. As someone that's served on the Historical Society board for the last couple of years, it's been a journey. Originally, it was going to start as the walkway, and then logistics happened. They couldn't get a layout that would do it without destroying the bricks in a very short period of time. So this was actually a kind of a solution to a problem, the way they built the cool dedication and the flagpole and everything. It's really cool. But I'd love to have folks come out, check it out, see it. Again, June 14th, Flag Day, 5:30 p.m. there at the Historical Society for Southeast New Mexico, 200 South Lee here in Roswell. unfortunately, that's the day we're going to the Grand Canyon, so I'm going to miss the dedication. But that's the day we'll leave Sunday. I think we're leaving Sunday or Monday, and then we'll head out and do all that. So I'm going to miss it, but definitely it's a beautiful. If you haven't had a chance to go out there and check it out yet, it's really quite nice. For those that like to donate or can donate blood, there's quite a few opportunities throughout June here. Your next chance for folks to donate blood here in Roswell will be on Thursday, June 10th, at the Vitalant office, number 3 Grand Avenue Plaza, from 11 to 2:30. They'll be having a blood drive. Everyone that donates gets a free T-shirt. In the meantime, though, if you're in Carlsbad, tomorrow they're going to be doing a blood drive at the Boys and Girls Club, 206 East Pecan. They're in the gym from 11 to 3. Everyone, again, gets a free T-shirt that donates blood. That's sponsored by United Way of Eddy County. But for folks in Roswell, Thursday, June 10th, at the Vitalant office. Or Friday, they're going to be out at Eastern New Mexico Medical Center. They're in the Mesquite Room from 9 a.m. to 12:30. And then everyone that donates on June 11th will get a free T-shirt as well. So those are the blood drives this week. Wednesday, June 9th, not tomorrow. I'm sorry, let me get this right. Tomorrow, June 8th, they're going to be at the Boys and Girls Club in Carlsbad. June 9th, they're going to be at Carlsbad Medical Center with the Blood Mobile. And then Thursday, June 10th, they'll be here at the Vitalant office. And then on Friday, June 11th, they will be at Eastern New Mexico Medical Center. To get an appointment for any of these blood drives, what you can do is call or text Stephanie at Vitalant, 575-840-8178. Again, that's 575-840-8178. And you can text her, you can call her. They'll get you on the schedule. If you haven't donated blood before, just ask her, and they'll give you the link to the website where you can go and pre-register and get things done on some of the questionnaire and stuff done ahead of time. That way you get in and you spend less time there donating blood and all that. But it's a great way to help out, and it's really easy to do. And if you were told in the past you cannot donate, please check again. The reasons you weren't able to donate blood years ago aren't the same as today. It's like tattoos in regions of the country, generally speaking, those have been restrictive situations, not necessarily the case. I think you're good to go with tattoos. I think the only time they really don't let you do the blood donations with tattoos if you didn't get a professional tattoo, like if it's done prison tats or whatever it is, they're a little recently, and I don't even know if that's completely over life. Just ask them; they'll be able to give you all the answers to that stuff, and even questions. People say like I have high blood pressure, diabetes, and I can't do it. Well, maybe not. Ask them. It depends. If you're under control, if you're controlled your diabetes, or if your high blood pressure is under control, I think they can let you donate on all those stuff. So please call Stephanie, ask 575-840-8178, and she'll be happy to answer any of those questions for you. All right, we are closing in on 8 o'clock. Stay tuned next hour. We're going to replay our interview. We had Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. She was in town and dropped by the studio Thursday afternoon, so we recorded an interview with her. We're going to play it. If you missed it, we played it in the 7 o'clock hour Friday. We're going to play it next hour here one more time for you. And then in the 8 o'clock hour, Bob Power is going to join us. Yvette Harrell's vet rep is going to be setting up a meeting for veterans later this week, too. He's going to tell us all about that in the 9 o'clock hour. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side. Do not go away.
106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. As Senate Democrats consider infrastructure and voting rights, among other items high on their list of priorities, they're running into some pretty strong headwinds.
As Democrats strain to deliver on President Biden's agenda, the limits of bipartisanship in the 50-50 Senate are increasingly clear. Talks over an infrastructure package are teetering. Biden is set to meet today with the lead Republican negotiator, and Democratic Senator Joe Manchin is optimistic.
The president has gone from $2.25 trillion down to $1 trillion. The Republicans have come up.
Meanwhile, a voting and elections overhaul bill is essentially dead now that Manchin announced his opposition.
If we continue to divide it and separate us more, it's not going to be united, and it's not going to be the country that we love and know.
Manchin made the comments on Fox News Sunday. I'm Julie Walker.
One of his key congressional allies offering some advice to former President Trump. Senator Roy Blunt is urging Mr. Trump to leave the 2020 election in the rear view and look ahead to next year's midterms.
My point is he's popular and can be incredibly helpful in 2022 if he gets focused on 2022 and the differences in the two political parties. The Biden agenda is an agenda that Republicans are going to be talking about, defining themselves based on our differences.
The Missouri Republican during an appearance on NBC's Meet the Press. With Kamala Harris visiting Guatemala and Mexico on her first trip abroad as vice president, the Biden administration expected later today to announce some new measures aimed at combating smuggling along with human trafficking. On Wall Street this morning, stocks have been bouncing between small gains and losses. Right now, the Dow is down about 33 points, while the NASDAQ trading 4 points lower, and the S&P currently off 6 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I have a traumatizing childhood memory of an Easter egg hunt. The big hunt was a big deal in our family, and I have this memory of running and excitedly reaching for eggs, only to have my big brother and sister sweep in and steal them at the last second. It's Ryan, and unfortunately, this is a traumatizing reality our Faith and Family Mortgage team is seeing from families across the country. Families are finding their dream home, only to have it pulled away by another hunter at the last second. At United Faith Mortgage, we unfortunately cannot scare off the other hunters, but we can very quickly get you pre-approved and make it look as good as possible to sellers. And then, once you do grab that Easter egg,
see our story and read how our direct lender advantage can often save your family monthly and lifelong money at UnitedFaithMortgage.com.
we are United Faith Mortgage.
United Faith Mortgage is a DBA of United Mortgage Corp. 25 Meadow Park Road, Melville, New York. Licensed mortgage banker. For all licensing information, go to NMLSConsumerAccess.org. Corporate NMLS number 1335. RAC NMLS number 65233. Equal housing lender. Licensed in Alaska, Hawaii, Georgia, Massachusetts, North Dakota, South Dakota, or Utah.
Preliminary results are in from Mexico's midterm elections, and they're something of a setback for the Mexican president. The BBC's Will Grant in Mexico City.
It looks like the electoral authorities predict that Andrés Manuel López Obrador's party will retain about 35% of the lower house of Congress, and that equates to about 190 to 205 seats. They're obviously waiting for all the results to come in before that's official, but that is what is believed, and that would be not enough for him to hold the supermajority which he currently holds in consultation, in partnership with other allied parties. Even with those parties alongside him, he would still not have that supermajority, a blow to his legislative agenda.
France's anti-competition agency fining Google $268 million for abusing its dominant position in the complex business of online advertising. News and analysis, townhall.com. As the second school year disrupted by the pandemic winds down, summer school plans now taking shape around the country.
An influx of federal funding included in COVID rescue legislation, letting some districts broaden programming and offer spots to more students. The government is requiring states to pour at least $1.2 billion into summer enrichment programs. Districts also must reserve at least 20% of the windfall to address learning loss.
That's correspondent Jason Walker. Jeff Bezos will be aboard for Blue Origin's first human space flight next month. In an Instagram post early today, Bezos said he, his brother, and the winner of an ongoing auction will be aboard Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft when it launches on the 20th of July. To get on Wall Street this hour, the Dow is down. It's off by 27 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The douche.
Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 at Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah.
Hope all of you had a good weekend.
Dude, I am so out of shape.
Oh, I know I'm out of shape. I've been out of shape for, years.
Well, you don't realize it until you do something that kind of reminds you, oh, you shouldn't do these things. I took the kids to the aquatic center on Saturday. Let them, swim around, and I got in there too, and granted, it was shallow water, so I was doing mostly like, the crab walk thing where you lay on your stomach and you kind of walk with your hands, playing with the kids and stuff. The thing is, I haven't moved my spine in that angle in a long time. Like, I don't lay on my stomach. I don't usually do anything on just my belly. So my spine hasn't bent that way in a long time. And as a result, over the last 2 days, I've been walking around like a 70-year-old. Like, every time I get up from a chair, I have to wait for my back to kind of straighten up, or else I'm just going to do that thing where I just walk with like my feet and it's hard to explain, but I've been in just legit pain for 2 days.
Sounds like you need to listen to Hugh Hewitt and try some of his relief factor. Yeah.
Honestly, I heard the commercial the other day. I was like, maybe.
Maybe you and Hugh should be like, all right, every hour remind you,
take
Sean.
Your relief factor.
Sean, take your relief factor. I'm telling you, maybe you should.
Yeah. Maybe that or some Ben Gay or something.
You
I don't know, but
roll around your belly all you want.
But yeah, it was just a couple extra spinal changes that my body's not used to, and I feel like an 80-year-old.
Maybe you should get some Hugh Hewitt juice.
All right. Stop cross promoting. Maybe I'm a Blue Emu man, all right? You don't know. Maybe I listen to Chuck Woolery. That's who I choose to take my pain advice from.
I do like to come back in 2 and 2.
Yes. It is fun. It seems like a perfect break time. 2 and 2, we'll get back at you.
Does he still host anything other than Blue Emu commercials?
I don't think so.
I mean, Chuck Woolery's not young.
Yeah, no, he's way
He's got to be, 80s?
I would say 70s.
I don't know.
He's
one of those, guys that just,
always been there?
Well, it's just, and he's always, perfectly coiffed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
80 years old.
Yeah.
Holy
I would say he's
crap.
got to be, I bet he's got to be around that 80 mark.
Yeah, and he genuinely, and honestly, all those celebrities from that day and age, they just look younger. Like, it's the same thing with doggone it.
It's like they put him in formaldehyde. Yeah.
Like Dick Clark, who always kind of like the world's oldest teenager. He always had that young.
Yeah, he looked
look about
ageless until the stroke, obviously. Then that's when you said, okay, he's a man who ages.
Right.
But you're right. Yeah, up until then, you were like, it's like, did they just put him in a cryo-sealed vault until we need him next New Year's? I don't know. How does this work?
I'm scrolling through the Chuck Woolery's 2012, Woolery has hosted a national syndicated radio commentary show, Save Us Chuck Woolery, which grew out of his YouTube videos. After 2 years as host, Woolery began a long-format podcast, Blunt Force Truth, with co-host Mark Young. Woolery expands on his conservative political ideals and current events, often inviting guest experts to join the conversation.
All right, so he's a conservative talk guy now.
I like to assume that he does when he takes his breaks, he says, we'll get back at you in 2 and 2. I mean, I feel like that's his. That's got to be his thing.
Now I'm kind of like if he's in some deep political discussion and then it's going south, so he's like, okay, so we're not getting anywhere here. How's your love life? Like, you think he's like, I can set you up with some people, we'll go on a first date. Hey, we'll pay for the date.
We'll pay for I talked to the producers on this one, but I think we might be able to set this up for you. You know always loved was you ever watch the show Blind Date?
Not really. I think I may have seen it once.
Blind Date was sort of like the Love Connection's annoying little brother.
Okay.
In that you got to see the date. Like in Love Connection, they came back and described what happened.
Yeah.
Showed some clips.
They didn't really show they showed maybe one or two highlights.
But Blind Date is literally the cameras are there the whole time.
Oh, so any faux pas or smooth move will be recorded.
But the best part about it is over the top of every episode of Blind Date, there was always like animated stuff. There was always like, awkward moment coming in 3, 2, 1.
Kind of like pop-up video.
Exactly. They were like, Therapist Joe says, and it would give like some advice on what you should do in this situation. I loved that aspect of it because it was like cartooning up first dates.
Yeah.
And it would point out when somebody said something awkward or when somebody tripped over themselves or dribbled something on their shirt. That's like the best part of that whole show.
Yeah, I miss pop-up videos.
Same. And they still show them like they did for a while on VH1 Classic. I don't know.
The closest thing I ever see to anything like that anymore is like if you haven't seen the same Impractical Jokers 15 times over, they do they do like an expanded cuts version of it. So they give you like approximately 10 to 15 seconds more of content. But a lot of it's
just Q standing over.
But a lot of it's pop-up stuff. Like when they make a joke, they give you a reference point about it. Like Joe uses this joke because in 1982 he wore these socks or something like that.
And that's spot on, kind of like how Blind Date was.
Yeah.
Pop up with like the added information stuff. And I enjoyed the heck out of that.
Yeah, I kind of dig that too. But and it is a way to get through the Impractical Jokers you've seen 52 times.
God, again.
Speaking of, I'm late to the ball game, big time on this, but I've been trying to say, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and watch the Yellowstone. And everyone loves the show, and it's been like, I was like, all right, so I tried watching it like a year ago, and it just wasn't sinking in. I think I sat through the first couple episodes, and I'm like, all right, I'm just not having trouble. So. Apparently, late last year, I had decided to give it a second chance, and one weekend over the holidays, like Thanksgiving weekend or something, they showed like the first 3 seasons of Yellowstone back to back to back to back to back, and I recorded them all. So sitting on my DVR for the last 6-8 months now has been is 3 seasons of Yellowstone.
Right.
And, so I finally over the weekend Kim and I saw first 5 episodes.
Okay.
And I think we're in now.
Yeah.
I think my wife more so than me. I think I'm starting to get her locked into the story because I'm trying to find a show that her and I can watch.
Right.
All
and that's
the way
thing
through.
Is, that's a hard sell too because there's certain elements that you have to have. There's certain elements that she has to have.
Yeah. See, she doesn't do the violent stuff very well. So like, but she and I loved like Sons of Anarchy. We got through that one together. She liked that one. Breaking Bad, all that. That was me. She started to get in that and then bailed. So it's tough to keep her in there. And Longmire, keep doing this. Yellowstone has a lot of those same Breaking Bad like, not as. You know what I mean?
Does she have a thing for grizzly gentlemen?
The shocking factor.
Like, does she have a thing for like big bearded burly dudes?
I don't think so.
Because just some of the shows that I've picked up on that she likes is like Sons of Anarchy, big burly motorcycle dudes, long beards.
You know what? I never put that conclusion together.
And then Michael P. Winters, big burly motorcycle dude.
I'm 5'8", so hardly big. But at least I'm 5'8", tall, about 5'6" round. So.
But I've seen this man hold a tall boy, and let me tell you what, he can full palm that bad boy.
Yeah, I'm an egg.
That got me. Oh, that's funny.
I'm an egg that walks around. But I will ask. Maybe that is her. Because I know
I'll ask my wife's type.
Well, I just know like everyone has your friends, top 5 list thing. We've all done those discussions with your partners at some point or another.
The hall pass.
Yeah. And like those people on her list are like Bon Jovi, Bradley Cooper, those types. They're not, Grizzly Adams types, things like that.
True.
So I don't know. Maybe.
I'll tell you what triggered my head, and I could be completely off on this, but when I thought Sons of Anarchy, for some reason my mind jumped Jason Momoa. And You don't even have to ask a woman's opinion on Jason Momoa. You can just assume.
Yeah. Although Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy is that's what's his name?
Miles Teller?
No, Jax Teller's the character's name. His real name is he's the blonde British dude that was in Pacific Rim and all those movies.
He would be
I can't remember his name.
Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam.
Oh no,
the ladies like the Hunnam.
You know what? Yep. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah,
Blonde, got the
matter of fact,
eyes.
she just sent me a text. Jax was hot.
Mhm.
See, that was, and so maybe. So I know there's a lot of burly dudes in Sons of Anarchy, but the ladies were down for Jax.
So she's into the Hunnam. Wasn't he in Prison Break?
Maybe, I don't know.
I feel like he was.
He might have been. I don't know. I know he was in a King Arthur movie. He was in the Pacific Rim movie.
That's where I remember him from. He was from that movie with Heath Ledger, the King Arthur movie.
He was in a King.
I feel like he was in Knight's Tale.
No, he wasn't in Knight's Tale.
Was he not? Okay,
No,
I'm gonna pull up
no.
his IMDb page.
The King Arthur one was after Heath Ledger was no longer with us. So
fair enough.
I don't know, but anyway, I don't know about the rest of them. But anyway, so I'm trying to get her into that. We'll see.
Makes sense.
It is 8:16. We're going to play our interview we had with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. She joined us last week in studio. So we're going to play that for you here in just a little bit, discussing the border and various other things there. Before we do any of that, though, let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will be drying out around our area today, so we should have plenty of sunshine and temperatures will be hot. Our afternoon high today around 100. Overnight will be clear with low to mid 60s, and then tomorrow's highs between 100 and 103 and sunny. Upper 60s and clear on Tuesday night, then a few more hot days coming up Wednesday and Thursday, low 100s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 75 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 42%. Winds currently out of the northwest to 10 miles per hour. Today, sunny skies. Actually, 3 digits are going to be our highs for the next week or so here. Sunny and hot today, 101 the high, with northwest winds 5 to 15. Tonight, clear skies with an overnight low of 66. South winds 5 to 15. Tuesday, sunny, 103 for the high with southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 15 to 20 tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 67. Southwest winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. Wednesday, sunny, 106 for a high. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles per hour. Thursday, sunny and 106 once again. Friday, sunny with a high of 104. And your weekend, warm as well. Sunny and 103 on Saturday. Sunny, highs right around the century mark on Sunday. So, yeah, the weather continues for heatness all week long. And no mention of rain. Not yet, anyway, but it is New Mexico. You know how that goes. All right, it is 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, and Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. They've got ammo in stock. They've got the 22 ammo in stock, 50-count boxes of 9mm ammo in stock. Also, if you're looking for accessories, they are the largest Vortex optics dealer in the entire state. They also now carry the Athlon spotting scopes. And if you're looking to sell guns, they are buying them. They've got cash on hand in the store. They'll buy your single gun. They'll buy your entire gun collection, estate sale. If you're looking to trade up for a bigger, stronger, faster model, no problem. Zia Guns USA here in Roswell can handle all of that. Of course, they are your Brunelli, Stoger, and Uberte dealer. They also have a great supply of things that aren't gun-related as well. Black Rifle Coffee, coffee drinkers. They got a great selection of Black Rifle Coffee in stock at Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. Also, have you seen the new soap products for men available? I've seen it online. Dr. Squatch, natural soap products, all for men, all with smell good scents and things for men, by men, designed for men, you know, the whole thing. But it really looks really cool. But if you see them online and you're like, I'd like to touch it, smell it, see it, taste it. I'm not going to judge you. You can go by Zia Guns USA here in Roswell. They are your only full-fledged Dr. Squatch retailer here in Roswell. So swing on by. They are open every day but Saturday because they spend Saturdays with family, and you should too. Stop on by Zia Guns USA here in Roswell, 1907 North Main Street, or call them on the telly, 575-622-0023. Again, that's 575-622-0023. All right, it is 20 minutes after 8 o'clock. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then our interview with Congresswoman Yvette Harrell. That's coming up on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
Enjoy more of the speed you need with gigabit internet from Plateau Fiber. Fiber means more speed, and that means more streaming on more devices with less buffering. Plateau offers True Gig, a dedicated fiber connection to download and upload what you want with speeds up to a gigabit per second. Best of all, it's all yours. You don't have to share your connection with the whole neighborhood. Sign up now to ensure your neighborhood is part of the next service zone. Learn more and get signed up today at plateaufiber.com. That's plateaufiber.com.
Authentic Asian dishes start with authentic ingredients, and Asian Market is your one-stop shop for all those hard-to-find authentic ingredients. Kimchi, pork belly, fresh young coconut, white miso paste, and a variety of mushrooms, plus red snapper, cuttlefish, green mussels, clam meat, and more. Authentic flavors like holy basil, Thai chili, and even more waiting for you at Asian Market. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 7, and Sundays, noon to 7 at 5702 South Main in Roswell. Come experience the flavors of the East at Asian Market.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And welcome back to the morning show. And joining us in studio this morning, we have Congresswoman Yvette Harrell back with us in town, in New Mexico here, able to join us for a visit this morning. First off, thanks for being able to pop by for a little bit and talk to us.
Oh, I'm so happy to. And it's, you know what, it's always just fun to pop in and say hi and get caught up on current events. And I think people appreciate kind of hearing what's really going on, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, it's kind of like the back in few moons ago, like when Dad come home for work for the day,
right?
And everyone sits down, tell us about your day. So it's kind of come on in.
I grew up in that era. You sit around the dinner table and everybody has to say what they learned in school and how everybody's day was. Yeah, I think that's what's missing. We just don't have enough personal communication.
Mm-hmm.
It's all turned into text or to some kind of social media instead of just the actual dialogue. So I really appreciate this, and even more so when I get to be in person.
We're glad to have you. And yes, we live in a world where you got to get your thought out in 120 characters or less.
Right, right.
For last time we had talked to you about a month ago or so, it was you had just this is when we were talking border security stuff.
Right.
I mean, that's always going on, but it was a little heavier at that time. And you basically invited the vice president out to come see the border and all that. And I think it was maybe a day before, a couple days after that we had talked to you, and that happened. So
yeah.
Any updates on that front?
Yeah, sadly, we did. We sent an actual written letter to the vice president, and we also sent out a video message to her, asking her, number one, to come to New Mexico, see the border firsthand for herself, and then in the letter, I actually invited myself to go with her down to Guatemala and Mexico so that she could have bipartisan conversations and that we could get to the root cause of what was happening. And of course, it's fascinating to me because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to understand, the root cause is let's stop incentivizing people to come to our country illegally.
Absolutely.
And stop giving them all the handouts that we're giving them. But as of today, we have not heard one thing back. No surprise there, but it is sad. And really on a serious note that she has been designated the southern border czar, the border czar, and yet that was 70-something days ago, and she's yet to make any attempt to visit any portion of the southern border.
Yeah, and we hear the message that we don't want partisan politics now on these things,
Right.
and so okay, that's what we're hearing. Well, this is where we need to practice what we preach, and
Right.
and border security is not a partisan thing. It's an American thing, and we need to solve it as Americans.
That's right. It is not a partisan issue. It's really about the American people. It's about national security. It's about ensuring that we know who's coming across our borders. And since we last spoke, I've actually introduced legislation asking for those who are, especially the adult males that are being apprehended, that they stay in custody until we can do background checks, extensive background checks. Because right now, the only background check we can do on those crossing our borders illegally are through the FBI, through Americans' process.
Sure.
Well, that's not to say that they aren't actually, been convicted of a crime in either their country of origin or a transit country.
Sure.
And it's the double standard. Americans are held to a different standard. We have a sex offender registry. Everybody in government can know when you've paid your taxes, if you've paid your taxes. They know everything about you. And yet we're letting these people who choose to break the law come here illegally for for the whys and
Sure.
hows we don't know. But shouldn't we at least be aware of who's coming into our nation? And we can already point to several cases and points where those have come across illegally and then gone and committed violent crimes or murder against Americans who have been convicted or are under arrest in their home country. So we need to do a better job of understanding who's coming across the border.
Absolutely. And I don't know where people seem to have lost that it is reasonable to ask people, where they're coming and do background checks. If you as an American tried to become a citizen of any other country on the planet, there's a whole gauntlet of things you have to do that.
Absolutely.
Why should it not be different for folks that want to come be a part of this country as well? I'm not saying it make it impossible, but what I'm saying is, there is a vetting process. If you want to come here, great. What are you bringing to the country? What are you wanting to do? What is your goals
What's your
and aspirations?
intention? Yeah. And the thing of it is, now we're even putting more of a load on our law enforcement. I look to the sheriff's department here, the police department here. We know just by the numbers I was given. I was down at the border just a week ago. Again, my fourth trip down since I've been elected. They have seized enough fentanyl at the border, the southern border, to kill 1.4 billion people. I mean, we need to think about that. And I know they've seized over 150,000 pounds of methamphetamines, but look what's getting through.
Sure.
Look how busy, our law enforcement officers are already, coupled with what they do on a daily basis. And now we're releasing this catch and release. We're giving these people a piece of paper that says, come back to court now, between now and the next 8 years. Well, they're not going to come back, but we have no idea what kind of people we're allowing to run free in the interior in our communities. And of course, that puts more of a burden also on our law enforcement.
Absolutely. And they're already taxed here on everything else that's going on in the world.
And my feeling is, let's give them the tools they need. Let's give them the funding they need as far as law enforcement. And let's ensure that we're supporting them and not putting more of a burden on their back. And this is exactly what this open border does, because the rural communities, I've had conversations with a number of law enforcement, the uptick in crime, the uptick in drug apprehension, with human smuggling. I mean, we've seen it across the board. And like you said, plus their day-to-day, keeping our communities safe, our streets safe. It's just compounding the already tough situation that our law enforcement face every day.
Absolutely. I mean, there's just got to be the way. Sure, the humanity side, absolutely. We want to make
100%.
sure everyone gets help and everything else, but realistically and everything else, there's got to be a process. There's got to be a way to do this. You just can't turn them loose, or what you said happened. You think life is tough right now. Wait till crime is unchecked, unvetted, because there really isn't a system to keep it in check.
Right. And the one thing I want to point to is, when we speak out, especially I speak out against the border all the time because of the porous border that we have. We should put the policies back in place that we're working under the Trump administration. And then people go, well, you just don't like kids. You don't, your heart is hard. No, it is not. But do people even see what is happening to these children and families that are coming through a number of countries to get here illegally? I mean, the human smuggling, the abuse and neglect. And just last week, the child that was left by the smugglers on the side of the border, just screaming and crying for it. It's like, can you imagine having a 5-year-old child and just dropping it off at the border of, say, Arizona and New Mexico and just leaving? I mean, that's child abuse in my opinion. And what makes me so mad is the sheer amount of money that the American taxpayers are paying for all the housing, the transportation, the food, the clothing, the medical attention. You know what's sad? We have veterans on our streets that are homeless. We have children in this district that are going to bed hungry at night, living in cars, living under bridges because the parents have fallen on hard times due to COVID. And yet this government wants to just turn the blind eye to that and just embrace those coming here. And again, it's illegal the way they're doing it. So, we've got such a crisis going on, and we've got to keep talking about it because mainstream media is not so much talking about it so much. I'm still beating that drum because obviously it's important to New Mexicans and Americans that we continue to make sure people know the truth.
Well, and let's face it, the media nowadays, it's got the squirrel mentality. And what I mean by that is, the dog, the movie, squirrel, they talk to the dog and that's the media. I mean, and they have something going on crazy over here, but then something else happens over here and it's like squirrel and they go there. And like you said, the real issue dies away because the sensationalism of it is now not as cool as whatever's going on over here.
Something else might be more fun to talk about or it's breaking news. And sadly, I wish there were things happening in the news that were actually highlighting some good things for American people. Nothing has come out of this Congress that has been a benefit to the American business owner, the American worker. The policies are so dangerous, and it's happening just at a breakneck speed. And that's why I think it's important that we're talking about these issues.
Yeah.
And there's so many to talk about. And you know what? The one thing that I want people to understand is we're way past party affiliation. These are absolute policies that are going to have a profound effect on the American people. And it's I know there's been times when we've said, as Americans, as people, well, I don't have kids in school, so education's not my problem. Or, I don't own a business, so business things are not my issue, or just, what have you. But now we're in a place right now where this is America's problem. And we've got to work together to just stabilize our economy and really salvage the country that we love, that we grew up in.
Absolutely. We're all cogs in the big wheel.
That's exactly right.
And, you may not think or believe that a cog way over in the other part of the wheel is something that you care about or is impacted by your life, but it is. I mean, like you said, with kids and everything. Okay, yeah, you don't have kids, but guess what? You don't plan on dying tomorrow. These kids are going to be the ones that are making decisions for us in the country, or business owners, things. So I want them very smart so they make good decisions.
Right. I mean, these are kids that we hope to employ. And like you said, that is such a great point. Whether you have children in school or not, we need to be paying attention about the indoctrination that continues. And we're just seeing it so many places. We don't have a workforce right now. Why is that? I mean, we've got people now staying at home because the government is pushing them to be reliant on, these paychecks. And that is just incredibly dangerous.
Absolutely.
And we've got to ensure that, small businesses, it breaks my heart because I know a couple in my own town who somehow they managed to stay open through the COVID. And now that the COVID, it's starting to kind of expand where we can have open for business and our little small companies can get back together again and open their doors. And now they don't have a workforce. And so I actually have 2 people in my hometown that are going to be closing if this doesn't get resolved very quickly. So we've pushed on the governor to put the protocols back in play for the unemployment, which I think she's doing. But now they have such a disaster there with the mismanagement of the $250 million that came from the feds.
Yeah.
And and this is what happens when the federal government just doles out these big fat checks to the individual states with no oversight. There's going to be fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I want to, and this is a little off topic, but it is, and I'm kind of curious because yesterday they were, they were talking about the state map and everyone going turquoise, and now we're finally turquoise. We're done with the colors and all that, and they're saying we're going to be this till whatever we stop colors.
Yeah.
And then I heard them talk in the news about federal emergency funding, and that might be a reason the state is not so quick to want to get these color system, because that admits we're not in an emergency anymore, which means we don't need the federal emergency funding. I mean,
that's right. We're rewarding states for bad behavior instead of opening up opportunity, getting people back to work, getting these small businesses operational. Again, the matrix was changed. And I think we talked about this months ago when they were doing that relief package back in February and March. they changed the matrix. And so really the states that had the higher unemployment rates were getting a bigger piece of the pie. And what we've done now is we've incentivized people to stay at home. And New Mexico, sadly, has one of the top 4 unemployment rates in the country.
Wow.
There's no reason for that. I mean, it doesn't matter what town, what kind of industry, they are all looking for help, whether it's restaurants, whether it's ag operations, whether it's manufacturing, truck driving, sales, you name it. There are jobs out there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. We were just talking the other day on the radio here, the city, and they're talking about the aquatic and recreation center and how they're going to open the outdoor pool for the summer. But the problem is they can only have the outdoor pool open and the indoor closed, or the indoor,
one or the other,
because they need so many lifeguards to man the pool at any given time. And I think it's like 14 or 15. They only have like 17 total. So they just don't have the staffing to keep them both at the same time. And that's the city. I mean, and take that times 20 times every other business.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's such a disservice to the communities that want to have the pool open, want to have the theater open, want to have some of these, especially these outdoor opportunities, or even indoor, but the putt golfs and all that. But here's what I say. I've had a couple of business owners call me, and I've said, look, it is sad what is happening. So if I were you, I'd take a list of all your employees that won't come back and send those names to the Department of Workforce Solutions and say, hey, Susie Q here's job is waiting for her. If she's on an unemployment list, then you need to tell her to come back to work. And I mean, start pushing. And it's sad, though, that the burden has always been straight on the back of the small business owner, and they are the backbone of the economy. But that's the only thing I can think of. But I just don't get how people are I mean, I get it, hey, this big fat check at home or go to work. But at some point in time, there has to be a responsibility for these decisions. And I just can't see that many people willing to have had a relationship in a company or with their peers or with their bosses and then think somehow that it's okay to not come back. I mean, I think I'm just hopeful that soon some of our employees from all over the state will start going, you know what, I'd rather be a part of the solution than part of this problem, because we're not going to be able to sustain this, remain at home forever. No matter what the federal government thinks and no matter how much they're spending, it's not going to be sustainable. Yeah, and it might be that point where it's at the Congress level where they say, all right, we got to cut the funding. We're going to have to. Yeah, 100%. Now all we've done, and they're and I think what they're trying to do is recover some of these this revenue from major tax increases. And I had an opportunity to dive into the new budget that the administration is bringing forth, but I can tell you top lines, the tax increases, and everything's still an attack on the things that we know and appreciate. For instance, our energy sector. Sure. Not only now is it an attack from the state level with this executive order that went into effect on the 1st of June that the governor did for the venting and flaring. It's the same squeeze that we're putting on them from the federal side, and it is just, there's not an industry that is not being harmed, and I just say it harmed by the government. And that's why I'm saying it's everybody's problem now. Right. Because if you like to eat, then you need to be concerned about what's happening with dairy, with ag, with beef producers, with our growers. It should concern you. So it's, it doesn't matter if you're, not in that business of ag, but if you're eating, then it's a problem. You need to be aware, kids in school, the whole bit. Now there's not one entity that I can think of that is not being somehow harmed by the federal government, and the states are piling on too. Well, really, at the end of the day, it's the adage, there's no such thing as free money. There never is, there never will be. I don't care who tells you what, there never is. That's right. So all the stimulus checks, all the free money that you've got over the last year, the bills come due. It's time to pay the bill. Yeah. And the only way we pay that bill is get back to work and get our economy moving again. And guess what? That's why all your taxes, guess what? The money's not free. It's coming from somewhere. You're paying for it now. Yeah. They're going to jack up your taxes. There's no such thing as free money. And when you just look around the communities and look around the state, look around the country, I see lots and lots of little children, 5 and under, 10 years and younger. And I'm telling you right now, for the sake of the future of our country, go back to work, because those are the kids that are going to be saddled with this debt, with this, pay to stay at home or take advantage of the government's ability to pay extra money. The kids that aren't even at work age yet, those are the ones that are going to be stuck paying the debt of the decisions that are being made right now. Sure. And so for the sake of our country in the future, let's do our part in getting back to work and saving the nation and saving the ability for our children to have the same opportunities of prosperity and good that we had.
It takes all of us, and
That's
we got to get up and work to do that. And the things we enjoy, the freedoms, the things we love, and we want to fight for, they aren't free, and they take work to have them.
That's exactly right.
We got to get back to our place of work so we can get back to those things again.
Yes,
so
100%.
I do want to touch since we last spoke, a lot's happened in the cybersecurity, Russian hacking, pipeline, and all this going on. I know there's been quite a bit. The pipeline kind of started the first, and then
Colonial Pipeline,
and I think they ended up paying the ransom, the company, and all that. But I think there's been other attempts and cyber attacks since then.
Yeah,
in other fields and industries.
There was, in fact, just earlier in the week, there are 4 big companies that do all the processing for our beef production. And one of those big 4 was hacked. I don't know now if they've paid a ransom or not, but what I can tell you is the ranking member, in fact, not the ranking member, the chairman of the Oversight Committee, Maloney, Congresswoman Maloney, has already now pushed for oversight to bring in these companies so that we can find out why are they getting attacked, what can we be doing, why aren't there protocols in place. And I think this is just the beginning of a new trend.
Yeah.
And especially Colonials, here's what I do want people to understand. The security breach with Colonial didn't start this rising gas price. I mean, the prices were already on their way up.
Sure.
But it did bring to awareness of, okay,
how vulnerable we are.
Exactly. And I have heard through conversations in D.C., there's opportunity, but these hacks are not going to waste their time with, say, hospitals or some of these other organizations that don't really have the funds behind them. But the Colonial Pipeline absolutely did, and this meatpacking plant absolutely does. And so there has been already talk, and I know Chairman Maloney has already pushed for some oversight committee hearings on that as well. And so something else, it's just when it rains, it pours, and right now we're in the storm of a lifetime.
And I don't know, and you may not understand either, because I'm just kind of curious. Is as far as the protocol goes on who's in charge of what and all that, because obviously the pipeline, it's run by private companies, it's worked by private companies, and everything's done by private companies because that's their business. That's what they do. Obviously what they do impacts us as a country and us as a people, but government insight, overstep, there's always checks and balances, what you do, what you can do. Yeah. But as far as security of that type of thing, is still the onus on the company there, or does the government get involved there? I don't know.
I think that it really is, because you're right. These are private entities, private companies. And it's just like what happens it's happened to so many individuals where, all of a sudden your whole computer system's been hacked and you have to pay or whatever. And I think it's not that the government, I don't think, should get involved in, but I do think that they should bring awareness. So is there, and then this is just very generic conversation. Are there policies that we can do that would be helpful? Or is there a way, and this is an oxymoron, but is there something the feds can do to help? Or would it be more of a hindrance? But I think the curiosity of why, and is this going to be a trend that, like I said, that we're going to start seeing, and what can we do? And maybe I don't know if it's going to be more on the scale of punishment for those that are doing the hacking, doing the violating, and then if they're caught, or if it's going to be, are there things in terms of agreements that the federal government can help with? I don't know. But there's enough of it now happening that, and think about it, those are just the 2 ginormous ones, but we've seen it now, with Target last year, a couple of banks, Colonial, and it could be something that we're just not going to be able to get to the bottom of, but we're going to have a better backstop, if you will, for some type of computer software that would actually, and that's probably going to be the new thing that's going to be.
I mean, I think, when we talk about government intervention on some of the security things, I mean, it's one thing when we're talking about even money, and I'm not trying to say money's not, because it very much is, but when we start getting to where it's impacting infrastructure, like our power, water, fuel.
Well, that's what I think the concern is. I mean,
government maybe should be a little bit more involved in it. I don't know.
At least aware, because I'm with you, because you start talking about the electric grids, water, you talk about infrastructure with water systems, sewer systems, all of these kinds of things. I think it kind of raises the red flag. I don't know what the fix is, but at least that awareness, that conversation, and I'm not enough engaged in it to know, okay, what can we do? And that's why I think I really believe it will be helpful to have the conversation with some of these big companies that are now experiencing this, because they may come to the table and say it could have been prohibited, or we could have missed this if we would have done A, B, or C, or if the government did that or this. But I know it's a fine line, because I'm a person of, limited government and letting free markets and capitalism work for the American people.
Absolutely.
But I do think that we still have to, work to save and
help
preserve
to keep it a playing field that's level for everybody.
The health, safety, and welfare. And that to me even includes, some of this computer hacking that's going on. So I'm curious about it. So I'm hopeful that they get those meetings set up.
I think this is something we as a country have to really start thinking about.
It's a reality that we live in now. And again, what do we need to do? I don't have the answer today, but I am hopeful that I think it would be very enlightening to sit down in a committee hearing with some of these and just kind of,
say, hey, what are we doing here?
Best steps. What could we have done? What could we do different? What are, what help do you need? And we'll see.
Because I guess the thing, and unfortunately, because we talk about private entities paying ransoms. I know we talk U.S. government terrorists, like we don't negotiate with terrorists and all. So this is private sector. It's a different ideology.
Ballgame. Yeah.
But there is the fear now. It's like you gave in there. It worked for whoever tried to do it.
No.
What's next?
I wish they didn't. Yeah. And, I'm not the company owner. I'm
That's
not
a scary thought.
A stockholder and all that. So I don't know. I wasn't intimately involved in it, but it is scary to think, okay, they paid it. And, had they not, what would it looked like? I don't know. And so it is worth, I think, at least a meaningful conversation.
Absolutely. Yeah. For the sake of really world kind, not just the United States, but the entire planet.
Yep.
So, I know we're probably getting a little short on time here for you. Is there anything we want to make sure that why we got you here that we wanted to get out to people?
Well, I'm just still so honored to be in the position I'm in, and I think it's just been incredible to the people that we've been able to keep in touch with, and the different industries and the things happening that are being affected in around the district, policies, and even Mother Nature. I'm so blessed to have such a great staff on the ground in New Mexico and also in D.C. And, where the rain was very welcomed. The other day, I know there were some property owners that experienced some losses, and I'm just, they're in our prayers. And so we want to make sure that we're, grateful for the rain, but also paying attention to some, it's one of those things. You finally get some rain, and then it kind of turns
Careful
into
what you wish for, right?
It kind of turns into a little bit of a disaster. But you know what? Grateful for that rain. We sure need it.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to keep working hard for the people of New Mexico, the people of America. Like I said earlier, I don't feel like this is a partisan thing anymore. I think we need to be making good things happen for Americans, for New Mexicans, and having those conversations. And that's what we've been doing. And I'm just so honored and just really appreciate the time to get to come in and just visit about what's going on.
Well, we do. We love sitting down and having you chit chat with us. Oh, I know what I meant to ask you. Last time, I think it was in April we talked, because it was right before the cicadas were starting.
Oh my God!
Now that you were in D.C., did you see them while you're there and all that mess?
So for anybody that doesn't remember, so there was supposed to be this 20-year high, and there were supposed to be millions of these things, and we don't have very many of those.
I'm not
it's
not
super
like
familiar.
back there.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this, and it's a beast. Okay, it's just ugly. The beautiful part is, and I'm so grateful, I have seen them. Most of the ones I've seen have been already dead on the sidewalk or whatever. So it wasn't the big swarms.
The hordes of them.
But let me just share with you, I didn't spend a lot of time outside either.
This is true.
So, I'm hopeful by the time I get done and being in district and go back to D.C., they're gone.
Hibernating.
Yeah, that's kind of where but they're ugly.
It's a bit unnerving.
Well, and it is. And I kept thinking, I played it out in my mind. If one touches me, what will I act like? And probably like some little kid screaming. But so far, so good. But I have seen them. They're very ugly.
Yeah.
But I think in some areas of D.C., because I was asking around, asking
have you seen
people, and people would say, oh my gosh, they're everywhere. And I thought, well, they're not everywhere on the street that I live in, so I'm not going to venture very far from my house to the Capitol and back, because I knew it was pretty safe.
I think the most creepiest one I've ever spot was, and this was it was probably 20 years ago. Whenever last, I went back to visit family, and we all went out to the Air and Space Museum out at Dulles. Out there. And so we're walking around. They got, of course, big parking lots and area, and then they got, every little parking area that has the little medians or whatever.
Yep.
they've got trees.
Yeah, they do. Tons of trees.
Yeah. And every single one of those was packed with thousands. And you just walk around and you just hear that noise. And it was like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. That was the one time I'm like, let's get in the building. It's
creepy.
Yeah.
I know. And then what was really weird, and I don't really watch a lot of news out there because it's usually not on when I'm at home, but I did catch it one evening and they were talking about those things. And then this is kind of weird to me. People were sending in pictures of those things. And it's like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I knew what to look for, but they're very creepy looking. And what was funny is there actually were quite a few between the office building and the Capitol. And because it's so beautiful that weather, we just run across the street, but there would be a bunch of them. And I thought, okay, but they were mostly dead, almost all of them dead on the sidewalk. But I thought, okay, if one touches me, this may not turn out well.
Well, then you got now Walking Dead and all these zombie shows. Something like that, like that thing can go back to life. I saw Walking Dead.
What, they're not. We're just blessed we don't have them out here. It's like a black grasshopper looking thing.
No, we got our own fair share of weird bugs out here.
I mean, but they're pretty gross. But anyway, yes, but I have survived. I have survived, so I'm so thankful.
Excellent. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. And I do appreciate you spending a few minutes here with us. Of course, folks, if you have questions or anything, don't hesitate to contact our office, shoot an email, get to the website, all that good stuff.
It's Herrell, HERRELL .house.gov.
Okay.
And that's where we can, you can sign up for our emails. You can sign up. You can send me a request. There's phone numbers there. It talks about our locations here and in Las Cruces. And then I'm going to tell you, our team has done a remarkable job at the mobile office hours. Brandon, Kim, all of them. They'll be in Carlsbad. They'll be up in Santa Rosa. They'll be everywhere. So we've really, you know what? I can't say it enough. I'm so proud of our team and for just being accessible to the community. And I think
absolutely
people understand that they're just an extension of me. And, I still have my same cell phone number, my same email address. So I didn't change any of that.
Well, as a dumb DJ that tries to wrangle your folks and everything from time to time, it's been nice to have you and your staff easily approachable and available.
Thank you.
A couple of years prior to that wasn't the case. I hadn't seen Congress people come through since Congressman Pierce. So
yeah,
it's nice to have you come back.
Well, we're doing it, and I just think, like I said, to me, it's past party. It's about people, and it always has been like that for me. And I just think there's too many things we can really be working on together. And I appreciate getting the insight and the input, and it just makes me a better representative of the people, and that's what we ran on. And so I'm grateful and still just so honored to have this position.
Well, we don't work too hard. Try to get a day off every now and then.
I'll try, but I mean, that scheduler of mine, dadgum him, he just keeps me busy.
Yeah, maybe we can distract him.
Yeah, we'll do that.
There you go.
We'll do that. Give him an apple.
There we go.
Give one of those apples.
We got some apples here for you. So, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it. We'll see you next time. Okay.
You bet. Thank you.
Take care. It is time. Take a quick break. We'll be back. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters. Don't go away.
New summer hours for the Roswell Rec and Aquatic Center. The indoor pool is open weekdays for lap swimming from 6 to 9, 10:30 to noon, and 5 to 7 p.m. Also, Saturdays from 10 to noon. The outdoor pool is open 7 days a week now from noon to 6. Pool programs include water aerobics on weekdays at 8 and also on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Water Pilates is also offered on Fridays at 9 a.m. The rec center is open weekdays 6 to 8, Saturdays from 10 to 8, Sundays from noon to 8. A team for the city of Roswell was part of an inspection tour of sites connected to the flooding in South Roswell and Chavez County. The tour started at Two Rivers Reservoir, about 12 miles west of the city. Two Rivers is a 60-year-old flood control project constructed and managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. Rocky Dam was also observed discharging water. It was estimated the water would continue to flow for 7 to 10 days. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will be drying out around our area today, so we should have plenty of sunshine, and temperatures will be hot. Our afternoon high today around 100. Overnight will be clear with low to mid 60s, and then tomorrow's highs between 100 and 103 and sunny. Upper 60s and clear on Tuesday night, then a few more hot days coming up Wednesday and Thursday, low 100s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander. President Joe Biden is portraying the May jobs report as a jumping-off point for more spending on infrastructure and education. It's an argument for his agenda to keep growth going. But Friday's employment numbers also hinted at the limits of how much government aid can be pumped into the world's largest economy. The 559,000 jobs added were less than what many economists were expecting. The European Union and British regulators opened dual antitrust investigations Friday into whether Facebook distorts competition in the classified advertising market by using data to compete unfairly against rival services. On Wall Street, the Dow gained 179 points to close at 34,756. The Nasdaq up 200 to 13,814. And the S&P 500 up 37 points to 4,229. With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
Times are changing, and today's funerals aren't always the sad and solemn events you might expect. This is Gabriel Casaus from Lagrone Funeral Chapel. Along with hymns and scriptures, today's funeral services are often filled with fish stories, country songs, and a joke or two, golf clubs and hot rods, favorite recipes, and kitchen disasters. At Lagrone Funeral Chapel, we believe a funeral should reflect your loved one's personality, passion, and sense of humor. When you lose a loved one, we're here, because at Lagrone Funeral Chapel and Crematory, we make it personal.
900 South Main, Roswell.
Hey guys, Aaron here down at Roswell Honda. Well, we did it again, another record-breaking month, and we couldn't have done it without your help. But there's no time to slow down. With all them deals means a significant amount of trade-ins, and along with it, one of the largest inventories of pre-owned vehicles in Southeast New Mexico. With over 130 new and used vehicles to choose from, we're sure to find something that fits you. Come on down to Roswell Honda and let us help you find the car of your dreams.
You're invited to attend a very special open house, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Saturday, June 12th. The open house is at Carroll's Corner Community Garden, 911 West Dallas in Artesia. Come see this beautiful, peaceful, and tranquil garden. Sign up to have your very own planter box or a spot in the greenhouse. There's no cost to reserve a planter box, and handicap access boxes are available. Come to the open house and see for yourself. There will be food, drinks, and door prizes, including Alma's Food Truck. We'll see you Saturday, June 12th, 8 a.m. until 10. This message in support of Carroll's Corner made possible by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company.
Being in the Army National Guard is about more than just serving your country. It's about being there for your community when your neighbors need you most. The Army National Guard makes college affordable. Serving part-time lets you attend school full-time while you take advantage of education benefits that can help you graduate debt-free. If a civilian career is your goal, serving part-time allows you to work at a full-time job. The skills, qualities, and contacts you'll develop in the Guard can open doors to a great civilian career. Want to serve but worried about being away from friends and family? Part-time service in the Army National Guard allows you to serve close to home. Serving in the Army National Guard lets you have the life you want while you enjoy the many benefits of serving your community and nation. You owe it to yourself to learn more about how the Army National Guard can fit into your life. Visit NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
Hey, good morning, 8:58. Hey, I just want to share an update for the 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit that's going to be happening June 11th to the 14th. Of course, on the 10th there at 1 p.m., they're doing a full escort from Roswell to Artesia. The escort's provided by the county volunteer fire departments, the Artesia Fire Department, EMS, and so forth, Chaves County Sheriffs, and so forth. But and then on Friday, June 11th, everything through Monday, the deal will be open, the opening ceremony at 9. But happening today in front of City Hall in Artesia, the first 343 people to show up in front of City Hall today, June 7th, between 1:30 and 4 p.m. only, will receive a ticket for an 8x10 photograph of a fallen New York firefighter hero to display as the truck arrives through town there. Note, only those with a ticket will receive a photograph of a New York firefighter who was lost on 9/11. All 343 tickets will be distributed. No photograph will be handed out. If they cannot show each of every face, all 343, they'll show none. So admission is free. But between 1:30 and 4 today in front of City Hall, they're handing out those 343 photos. So just want to make that note to you. All right, it is closing in on 9 o'clock. Town Hall News up next.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. No word of any breakthroughs in ongoing talks between the White House and congressional Republicans over infrastructure. But Democratic Senator Joe Manchin is hopeful. He says both sides have compromised quite a bit so far. And Senator Manchin also explaining why he cannot vote for a Democratic election reform plan.
We're going to basically do an overhaul, an 800-page overhaul of the voting rights, or what we call For the People Act. I think there's a lot of great things. I agree in that piece of legislation, but there's an awful lot of things that basically don't pertain directly to voting.
Manchin telling Fox News Sunday with Chris Wallace that the plan as currently structured would further divide the country. President Biden will be meeting in Washington today with the NATO Secretary General. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says they'll discuss a number of pressing issues,
including reinforcing transatlantic security in the face of challenges from Russia and China. They will also discuss adapting NATO to address threats like cyber attacks and climate change, while continuing to ensure a more equitable sharing of responsibility among allies.
Items for the agenda of the upcoming NATO summit in Brussels. Amazon's founder planning a trip that's literally out of this world.
Jeff Bezos announced on Instagram that he had dreamed of traveling to space since he was 5, and on July the 20th he'll make that journey along with his brother. Also on board for the brief suborbital flight will be the winner of an auction for a seat on Blue Origin's New Shepard spacecraft. The current highest bid stands at nearly $3 million.
That's a BBC's Rory Caitlin Jones. Israeli police say they have temporarily banned a planned march by Jewish ultranationalists through Jerusalem's Old City. Fears a march could reignite tensions that led to the recent 11-day conflict between Israel and Hamas. The Dow down 62 points, and NASDAQ is up 12. More on these stories at townhall.com.
I have 2 dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. Always itching. His paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time.
DINOVITE.com. Dynovite is nutrition.
Probably 2 weeks after he started Dynovite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dynovite dog, and he has 0 issues today. He won't eat his food without Dynovite. When I get out the Dynovite, my dogs actually salivate, like I'm getting them a treat. They drool over it. Dynovite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynovite from DINOVITE.com.
2 express trains have collided in southern Pakistan, killing at least 40 passengers. Rescuers and villagers spent the morning working on pulling injured people and bodies from the wreckage.
Unfortunately, accidents on Pakistan's railways are quite common, and there's been criticism of the current government, of previous governments, for not doing enough to improve safety on the railways. Prime Minister Imran Khan said that he was shocked by this incident, and he says he's ordering a comprehensive investigation into safety on the railways now. But there will, I imagine, be a lot of criticism that more has not been done by his government and by others in the past already.
That's a BBC's Sekunder Kermani. Japanese automaker Toyota reaching a settlement with the family of an engineer whose suicide was ruled a job-related death due to harassment from his boss. Toyota promising to crack down on workplace harassment. News and analysis at townhall.com. One New York City mayoral hopeful says she would cut money from the police budget to pay for therapy for would-be criminals.
Maya Wiley wants to cut $1 billion from the cops and use $18 million of it for a new participatory justice fund in an effort to quell the rising tide of shootings in the Big Apple. Badly affected neighborhoods would then use the money to come up with their own ways to stem gun violence, like community programs, and therapy for at-risk individuals. Wiley's received the endorsement of Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez ahead of the Democratic primary, June 22nd. Rhonda Rockstra reporting.
The Supreme Court being asked to decide whether the government can continue requiring men, but not women, to register for the draft when they turn 18. The question of who has to register could be viewed as one of little practical impact, though. The last time there was a draft was during the Vietnam era, and the military has been all volunteer ever since. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. Ringing through it, flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3 of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Monday.
Yeah.
First official week of summer vacation.
Unofficial start of summer, but the unofficial official start of summer.
Yeah. Of course, all the children across the land enjoying their summer break right now, and teachers, staff, and everybody else as well. So enjoy.
The pools, the aquatic center is officially open 7 days a week now.
Yeah.
I think it's, what did they say, noon to 6, I believe they said. Or maybe it was 10 to 6, something like that. But they close at 6 p.m. Every evening. And then the indoor lap swim is open, I believe, weekends. And then they have hours of operation throughout the day as well.
Very good.
Yes.
Of course, do want to, since we're talking summer real quick, want to mention the summer lunch program for Roswell.
Yes.
Will officially get underway on the 10th. Grab and go breakfast and lunch will be at Roswell High, Goddard High, or at Brendo Elementary between 8 a.m. and noon beginning June 10th. Through June 23rd, Monday through Friday. So you can swing on by. So between 8 and noon and pick those up, grab and go there. So that's a way. For folks in Dexter, you can actually, and other parts of the county, you can do that right now. In Dexter, they've got Dexter High School. They're doing grab and go through August 6th, Monday through Friday. The breakfast and lunch combo. Dexter High School from 10 to 11 each day, Monday through Friday. And then from 11 to 12, they're over at Midway Assembly of God Church, which is 63 Yakima Road in Midway. And then from noon to 1, they're at the Midway Volunteer Fire Department, 6477 Templeton Road, doing the grab and goes there. So
free food.
So for folks in Dexter area down farther south, grab and goes there. But for here in Roswell, it'll get underway June the 10th.
Very good.
Here's what we have on tap for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather. Spoiler, 100 plus all week.
Yep.
That's what it is.
It's going to suck.
And sunny. So that's what we got going on there. But after we tell you that, then we'll have Bob Power join us, and he's going to be talking about Congresswoman Yvette Harrell, her vet rep. He's a gentleman by the name of Rick Panetta. He's going to be hosting a meeting on Wednesday beginning at 1 p.m. at Westminster Presbyterian Church, which is located behind Champion Motorsports there on 2nd. They're going to be hosting a informational meeting for vets and wanting to talk to vets and things like that. So Bob's going to join us and tell us all about that.
Very good.
In just a little bit. Later on, we'll get you up to date with local news along with your business update and whatever else we can come up with for this hour of the show. I gotta mention this as I do, and as people know, I do get stuck down rabbit holes on those 40 things someone does. This one. And so this one I got in a rabbit hole on was things that other fast food companies have done as food offerings overseas that
you can't get here.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of really good stuff. I'm telling
some are good, some are gross, some are. But there's one here that there's quite a few I'd like to try. There's a few I don't want to. I just steer clear of.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one in particular that I don't know why. It's swimming through my brain like some kind of virus.
No,
that I'm like.
That's not what you want to hear about.
But because I should want to try this. It's just hedonistic grossness.
Curiosity killing your cat is basically what it is.
But I want in.
Okay, so tell me more.
This was a KFC fare.
Okay,
from the Philippines.
All right,
and of course you know about their double down chicken sandwiches and all that. This was the double down dog. And It is literally a hot dog, but instead of a bun, it's got fried chicken.
It's a chicken bun with hot. I don't know, man.
I know it sounds just hedonistic nastiness.
Here's the thing: you said this was the Philippines.
Yeah,
that sounds like the most American creation known to man.
Well, I think that's what it is. I think they're trying to take and do some of their with American things, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's a KFC, so.
But I hear about this all the time. Like some of these creations, like Pizza Hut a while back did a pizza where the crowns of the pizza, like the crust, was cheeseburgers. Little mini slider cheeseburgers.
Yeah, this thing's got even. They've got one from one country that's squirting, and they use the term squirting, and it's got hot cheese. When you bite into it, it just squirts out hot cheese.
I don't know how I feel about that. Squirting.
They use the term squirting.
That's rough.
Yeah, Burger King in Japan offered a Spam and cheeseburger.
See, now that's something I would try. That's like a Hawaiian thing.
Now this one, this has got to be rough. I'm going to try it, but I don't like this combo.
Okay.
In Japan, at First Kitchens, which I guess is a fast food establishment.
Sure.
They have a Kit Kat sandwich.
A Kit Kat sandwich.
Yeah. It's Nutella smeared on bread.
Okay.
Okay. Let me see if they give.
I thought you meant like a savory sandwich with the Kit Kat like slammed in the
middle.
middle.
It's let's see. It's got they don't really say what's in it. It's a Nutella smeared on bread in a sandwich. So the next fast food offering shouldn't seem that far-fetched. A Kit Kat sandwich. It's too obvious. It sounds like it's a combination. It combines sweet favorites from a Kit Kat bar to whipped cream. So basically, it's Kit Kat whipped cream.
It's like Kit Kat Fluffernutter.
But it looks like it's got some kind of fruit or something in there too. I don't know what's going on. And it's got some kind of. It looks like a McGriddle style pancake like bread. So there's your squirting crust pizza from Malaysia. Squirting crust pizza.
Get your hands on some of that.
Spinach muffin. Ugh. I mean, it's just
some of them seem very odd. But
and like this one, deep fried salmon. Sure, I'd eat deep fried salmon.
Now you've traveled abroad. Have you ever had a chance to try odd fast food in other countries?
A little bit, but not a whole lot. Now this one's different. Fish roe cream cheese stuffed pizza.
I've seen that one. Actually, I've seen someone try that one. They did that on Good Mythical Morning.
Yeah,
that was Singapore, I believe. Thailand or Singapore? Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Okay. Next, what they do is they'll have like international foods, and then they have to throw a dart at a world map to figure out where it came from.
So Burger King in Japan, we're celebrating the launch of Microsoft Windows 7.
Okay.
So they came up with a Whopper 7, and it was 7 Whopper patties.
Good Lord.
A jelly frappuccino.
There's they did one in Japan. I think it was the all black burger.
Yeah. I just saw that one. It's weird. This one I'm not down with. Buffalo Crunch Donut. So it's a donut with buffalo sauce. Doritos Loco Tacos.
Maybe.
It's Tim Horton in Canada did that one.
That dude, with the sweet, the heat, and the savory, I could maybe see that working.
The buffalo a little goes a long way. There's a foie gras burger from Wendy's in Japan.
That sounds fantastic.
berry burgers. I would try these. They're basically burgers, but they put like a berry sauce
like
on
compote.
it. Yeah, that's not bad. Surf and turf pizza. I want to try this just for the nostalgia.
It said market price. What market are you shopping at?
Yeah, it's in South Korea. It's a Pizza Hut, and it's plus dessert, and it's every meat known to man on it. And I can't tell what it is, and it doesn't tell you, but it just says meats. And, of course, it describes all the meats, but it's in Korean, so I don't understand what it is.
So Korean meats.
Yeah. Pork and seaweed donut from Dunkin' Donuts in China.
Maybe.
This is gross. Peanut sauce and mayonnaise crust pizza from Domino's in Taiwan.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yee.
gross. Oh, gross. It's in the crust, and it's like two trailing oozes of peanut sauce and
hot mayo
and mayo.
Ugh.
Oh, gross. Yeah, that's edible nail polish at a KFC in Hong Kong.
Nifty.
Yeah. All right, I'm out after that one. But
the only weird thing I ever tried was I went to a McDonald's in Germany, and they had apple pies a la mode, which seems simple.
That's fine.
But that was like the one thing.
You know, one thing I said out here one time that people gave me, I looked at me like I was a foreign, weird alien. I mentioned that sometimes back east they put a piece of American cheese and melt it on top of pie, on apple pie, and eat it. And I mentioned that, and people looked at me like I was some kind of weirdo. And I was like, that's a thing back east.
There's weird flavor combinations. The one I'm dying to try, and I think I'm going to try it. We're going to try it here on the radio. Is last week I found out about watermelon and mustard. I guess Lizzo did it or something, and it was a TikTok thing. So
I'll try it.
Watermelon and mustard apparently is a really good combination.
Ugh.
I don't know how it's going to work, but we'll find out.
Yeah. By the way, that double down hot dog with the chicken, it was served with mustard.
Oh, as would be expected.
Well, I'm just, instead of ketchup, just a mustard chicken and mustard. I still want to try that. I almost think I want to do it myself. Because you can't get that here nowhere. But I think I'm going to buy some chicken breast.
We're going to get a fried chicken bun.
Fried it. I'm going to make it.
Oh, you just make it with.
I'm going to make it. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe. Let me know how it turns out.
All right, we'll do that. All right, it is 9:16. Let's get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will be drying out around our area today, so we should have plenty of sunshine, and temperatures will be hot. Our afternoon high today around 100. Overnight will be clear with low to mid 60s, and then tomorrow's highs between 100 and 103 and sunny. Upper 60s and clear on Tuesday night, then a few more hot days coming up Wednesday and Thursday, low 100s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 80 degrees here in Roswell. Yeah, it is 9:17. We're already at 80 degrees, but get used to it. We're going to have a bunch of that all week long. Humidity is at 33%. Winds currently out of the north at 7 miles per hour. 101 our high today under sunny conditions with north winds 5 to 10. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 66 with southwest winds 5 to 15. Sunny and 103 for you Tuesday. Southwest winds 5 to 10 in the morning, 10 to 15 tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 67. Southwest winds 15 to 20, dropping down 5 to 10 after midnight. For the rest of the week, more of the same. Sunny and a high of 106 on Wednesday. Thursday, sunny, once again, a high of 106. Friday, sunny skies, a high of 104. And then your weekend, sunny and 103 on Saturday, sunny 100 on Sunday. So if you like 100, this is your week to live in New Mexico because we're going to have it all week long. Probably even longer than that, too. It's summer, Well, will be officially, I think, here in a couple weeks. But the warm weather has officially breached upon us here. All right, it is 18 minutes after 9 o'clock. We're going to take a quick 3.5-minute commercial break, and then Bob Power is going to join us on the other side. We're going to talk about Vet Harrell. Her vet rep is going to be hosting a meeting on Wednesday for vets. We'll talk all about that with Bob here in just a little bit. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Customizable office equipment is one stop away at PTS Office Systems. Of course, you and the business next door do different things, so you need different office equipment. PTS Office Systems has fully customizable office equipment in stock, waiting to be delivered to your business. Get fully customized office equipment to meet your office's specific needs. The day and age of one-size-fits-all office equipment is gone. Shop around at PTS Office Systems today at 217 North Main in downtown Roswell.
As the school year comes to an end and COVID restrictions start to ease, don't lose sight of the lessons learned. Cover your cough, positive personal hygiene, respect one another, show and tell others you love them. Fiscal and social responsibility are great ways to show your love. This is Damon Graham, your local New York Life agent. I can help you show your love to others. Call me at 575-623-0803 so we can determine how you best can show your love. Expect to be blessed.
Attention Artesia. As part of the 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit visit to Artesia, New Mexico, June 11th through the 14th, the Artesia 9/11 Memorial Foundation is inviting you to be a part of the arrival of the exhibit on Thursday, June 10th. We would like you to join 343 total Artesians to line Main Street between 1st and 5th as the mobile exhibit arrives in Artesia. You will be holding a picture of one of the firefighters who lost their life on that tragic day in Manhattan. If you would like to be a volunteer for this memorable event, please go to Artesia City Hall on Monday, June 7th from 1:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. and receive your volunteer ticket. Please help us welcome this tribute to the heroes of 9/11 to Artesia and New Mexico. This message in support of the Artesia 9/11 Memorial Foundation is made possible by Holly Frontier Navajo Refining Company.
When you think of home health care here in Roswell, what's the first thing that pops into your head? That's right, Frontier Medical. We've been doing it better than anyone else for over 20 years, from in-home nursing to physical therapy and so much more. Doctors and hospitals from Albuquerque to Lubbock and everywhere in between have been trusting their patients to us here at Frontier Medical. So when it's time to make a choice, remember Frontier Medical. 575-627-1112. Frontier Medical.
Name to remember. Good morning, honey. Hey, I have to pick up the kids from school this afternoon. Can you call...
A home invasion can happen anytime, even when you're at home. Protect your home and the ones you love with whole home security from Zenith Security. The security experts at Zenith Security can monitor your whole home 24/7. So they're ready whether you're there or not. Call Zenith Security Services LLC at 626-3521. That's 626-3521 and get whole home security with Zenith Security Services LLC.
Hey, this is Dr. Keon Egger at Carabelli Dental in Roswell. Our office is passionate about creating beautiful, long-lasting smiles. But here's the thing. Sometimes that means dentures, and that's not a bad thing. These aren't your grandma's dentures. We combine artistry and the latest technology to create beautiful, natural-looking teeth. If you are in southeastern New Mexico and you have dentures or are considering dentures, you need to come visit us at Carabelli Dental.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 622-4455.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning from, actually, let me pull that up just a little. There you go. Pull that up a little closer just so they can they can hear you better, so they don't have to listen to just me yelling all the time. Bob Power joining us back in studio this morning. Morning, sir.
Good morning, Mike.
How are you doing today?
Not too bad for an old goat.
Well, for folks that aren't familiar, see, that's guaranteed. As soon as you get on the radio, the phone's going to go off. That's a Murphy's Law right there, I'm pretty sure. But Bob joins us from time to time. We talk vet issues mostly, but dances and things from time to time, too. Any dances coming up we need to let folks know about?
There will be as soon as this COVID thing is over.
Well, I think we're close. I feel like we're now in that turquoise, and we're staying there. So
yeah,
maybe we can start boot scooting here soon a little bit. So
yeah.
But in the meantime, on Wednesday, Congresswoman Yvette Herrell, actually, she's been in town here, and we got a chance to talk to her last week and played that here. But she's having a meeting. Her vet representative, Rick Panetta, he's going to be here in town, and he wants to hear from vets. Wants to sit down and talk to vets and talk vet issues and kind of. I'm guessing it's just kind of an informational thing for the Congresswoman, pretty much.
It is. It has dual purpose. He's going to talk about new issues.
Okay.
And he wants the vets to ask questions if they have problems or for any reason, if they don't understand something.
Okay.
ask.
So if you're having like your vet's benefit issues and things, please come to this meeting. Let Rick put you in the direction to get you some help and things like that, too.
Correct. Yeah.
Gotcha. Awesome. Very good. Now, this meeting will take place on Wednesday at this upcoming Wednesday, 1 o'clock, and it's going to be at Westminster Presbyterian Church. For folks that aren't familiar, it's right behind Champion Motorsports. They're on 2nd.
Correct.
I used to, I was just joking with you. We're not joking, talk to you about living on the South End. But when I first moved to Roswell and met my wife, I was in the Air Force at the time. But her and I for a year kind of went back and forth from Roswell, on the weekends when I was off. But she lived in those apartments right behind Champion there. And at the time, right across was the Masonic Lodge. And then there's the Presbyterian Church right next door there. And I remember I lived there for a couple years, but yeah, you could walk right there. And the Masons had some kind of motorcycle thing one time when I was there. And so we were hanging out there and they were driving around kind of like the Shriners, but with motorcycles. And they did a whole thing there. But that's how I know that area because I lived right there. But yeah, the church is right there. If you get right near the park and all that, can't miss it.
And they just recently hired a new, I can't call him a pastor because he wasn't ordained in the Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
But
he's tending to the flock.
For all practical purposes, he's the pastor.
Gotcha.
It's Tom Blake.
Oh, okay. We all know Tom.
Yeah, and
Tom's a man of God and a man of very many musical talents.
And he's doing a wonderful job there.
Absolutely. So he's running the show right there. And of course, folks, we encourage vets to come out. I would guess too, family members of veterans, all that, please come and listen to this meeting, because let's face it, the family members of the vets are there, they serve just as much as the vet sometimes. And so to have if they're there helping with caretaking or helping the vet navigate through that stuff, please come and come and be a part of this discussion. And
a lot of times they serve more than the vets.
Absolutely, a lot more. I mean, especially the family members of those that served when their loved ones were over in combat-like situations or those, and they got the blue star hanging out on front of the front porch there. I mean, that's I know we all think of World War II and Norman Rockwell. At least I do when I think of those images. Right. But that is a image that Americans have had as part of their culture for a long time, and that's and will continue long before. As long as the United States is part of the world, there's a veteran that we're going to be celebrating and honoring and talking about. So those things, but. And I know this too, being a veteran myself, yourself a veteran. We're not. Sometimes we're a more stubborn lot, the veteran group, and because we're kind of built we handle our business and we don't always want to seek help. We don't always because it's just not how we're wired sometimes. And as a vet, I want to say, hey, seek help. If you need help, there's resources, there's information, there's lots of things that information and things out there to help set you up. You have earned every single one of these benefits by signing your name on that dotted line. And please do not look at it as a charity or a handout. This is things that, because of the sacrifices you've made for our country, this is the least our country can do for you. So please don't look at this as a charity or handout or veterans just get a mindset. It's like, no, I don't need that kind of stuff. I got this. I don't need. Please, this is, if you need help, these resources are there for you, and it's not charity. It's not. You've earned it.
They earned it. Yes.
This is the least we can do to say, hey, you were willing to give your life for the ideology that is this country. The least we can do is say, hey, let's make sure you're getting your benefits taken care of here.
And Mike, I might mention that Memorial Day celebrations got rained out.
Yeah, the rain did not. I'm with the American Legion, and we, 28 and 61, we were all going to divide and conquer and getting flags out, and the rain conquered. that day. We're going to redo a lot of that on July 3rd weekend and all that too. So please, we didn't get to do as much as we want on Memorial Day, but we're not forgetting at all.
I'm not sure of the dates, but they are going to both posts 28 and 61 are going to have their ceremonies.
Yep. Speaking of ceremonies, I want to invite, again, Post 28 and Post 61, the American Legion posts, this Saturday, because Flag Day's on Monday. Monday the 14th is Flag Day, and I know I'm cross promoting 10 things here. Historical Society's doing their flagpole dedication on that day. But on Saturday, the 12th, this upcoming Saturday, both American Legion posts are doing a major flag retirement ceremony. There's so many flags that one post cannot handle it by itself. There's because of COVID, I think there's like somewhere like 200 flags, and they're not just from here; they're from around the state. These are all flags that need to be retired. So Saturday, we're going to make it an all-day ceremony, beginning, I believe, around 9. If you come out to the American Legion Post 28's facility on Montana there, the public is invited and encouraged. We're going to do the flag retirement ceremony, the official, the way it's done, stripe by stripe, and then cutting the stars and using them as souvenirs. It's a pretty, if you've never seen the ceremony, come out this Saturday, bring your kids, bring your family. See what it's about, and then we're going to be cooking burgers and dogs and stuff afterwards, and have a little camaraderie and some fun. And we'd love to have people come out. But if you've never been a part of a flag retirement ceremony or anything like that, I invite you to come out this Saturday, about 8:30, 9 o'clock. If you get out there, you'll see everything. But I think a lot of us are getting set up around then. I think around 9 is when they're going to
and bring a lawn chair.
Yes. It's going to be a long time. I'm not saying you have to see all 200 and some odd flags retired, because that's a big ask. But I'd like to. I think if you come out and see especially the beginning parts where the more pageantry side of it will be happening, about hour 3, it's going to be more of a machine like thing. But that beginning part where we see and it is, trust me, and if anybody's saying, well, burning flags, this is not burning a flag. This is, yes, technically it is burning a flag, but it is not the same in any way, shape, or form. This is a respect. This is how we pay respect to our flag, and this is the proper way to do it. And if you as an American have never seen it before, I think as an American, you should make a point, as an obligation, to come out and see this.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just for if you want to thank a veteran, these are the kind of things you should do, because these are the reasons why the veteran's doing what the veteran's doing. We all have our opinions, we all have our thoughts, and everyone loves sharing them, even more so in this day and age. But the veteran, they're there to just allow you to have that ability to do that. And you can agree, disagree, doesn't matter. The reason you have it is because a veteran made that sacrifice. And that's what Flag Day, the flag, this is all lumped in together and part of that. So, and that's why we want you to come out on Wednesday as a veteran to make sure that all the things that you're entitled to for making the sacrifices you have made to keep this country the way it is, you earned that.
Also, Rick Pineda is a new representative.
Yeah, brand new to the vet staff. And
he replaced Joe Martinez. Who was veterans rep for years, and Joe did a fantastic job. But he's been replaced by Rick Pineda.
And he's a vet as well, if I remember right. Did I hear that correctly?
Rick?
Yes.
Yeah, he served, I think he said 22 years.
Okay.
Marine Corps.
All right. So he's chewed some dirt with you too. So he understands he's been there, done that, got that T-shirt with you.
Well, that's what he told me too. He said he's well aware of the needs of the veterans.
Good. So please, you're talking to one of us, basically. So if you want to talk, and really, like you said, this is just as much a benefit for our Congresswoman as it is for our veterans. Like you said, she wants this to be a resource for our veterans if they need help, but at the same time, she's using as Rick as that. Hey, what do our veterans need? I want to make sure we don't help them with things that they don't need. We want to make sure that we make it as efficient as possible to say, hey, these are the things. It's kind of like when you go to like one of these conventions and they give you a bag full of free goodies and you're like, yeah, this is great, but I don't need 20 pens. I need to talk about this. You know what I mean? That's what she don't want to give you a pen. She wants to give you a solution to your problem.
Well, I was on the council for Congressman Pierce for several years, and Congressman Pierce was fantastic when it came to the veterans.
Another vet himself.
Yeah. And Yvette Harrell appears to be the type of person that wants to be just as good, if not better.
I will say this, since she's taken over as our congresswoman, as far as access and her people communicating and being with us, I have not enjoyed that amount since Congressman Steve Pierce was our congressman.
Yeah.
So so what you're saying, I can completely agree with and conclude with or inspire with on that. So absolutely, it's been a night and day difference, and you understand. And when there's a change in administration, there's always that change in the way things are done. And like yourself, you've been for years navigating these circles and dealing with it. So when certain administrations, certain people, things open up, others they don't, and we're back to having it where we have a place where we can talk to and have an exchange of ideas with the people that represent us.
I'll never forget when Congressman Pierce flew his own plane around the world, every country that has a veteran cemetery, and
yeah, he had to break that trip up a little bit. I think some weather and some other stuff kind of. Well, anytime you fly around the world, there's going to be a hurdle or two, and he met those. But yeah, you're right. I remember that was about 4 or 5 years ago. He did that.
That was
that
at
amazing
his
trip.
expense and his private plane.
Yeah. If you ever get a chance, he's got an excellent book that talks about a lot of his time in the military when he was a Vietnam fighter pilot. It's called "Just Fly the Plane, Stupid." And I'm guessing, I don't know if you can get it in stores anywhere, but I'm sure you can get it online at his website or something like that. And I was very lucky enough, he gave me an autographed copy of the book. But it's a great book. It talks about his time military, flying planes, and of course his time as Congress and everything.
While you're mentioning books, there's a fantastic book written by a local author here, Dorothy Aldrich.
Okay.
It's called Beyond Courage, and it's basically about the Bataan Death March.
Okay.
And very few people know this, but Roswell's National Guard was one of the last to surrender.
Oh, wow.
To the Japanese, and they didn't want to surrender, but they were ordered to by their commanding officer. And she received honors from the White House for that book. And she just recently passed away last November.
Oh.
But the book is fantastic, and I suggest that everybody read it.
Yeah, I think, don't quote me, but I bet the Historical Society probably has copies available. Don't quote you. They usually have a lot of our local authors, so I'll double check on that. But I'm willing to bet they may have some copies of that book. But I'll confirm that before I say for sure 100% on that. But they're pretty crafty at having things like that available. So. That's definitely. I love hearing those stories, and we mentioned this, and I was hearing, and I don't want to get into too details and stuff, but you talk about our guard units and stuff here. Pray for those guys, and they're the individuals, the men and women that serve in our guard units and doing amazing stuff. I know, they're dealing with tough times with just the world we live in, and these folks are serving in rotations overseas and seeing combat and seeing things that's hard to deal with, and they're processing that stuff too. So folks, look in on our veterans over there and check in our those guards, the guard men and women that are serving, and just check in on them and make sure that they see if there's anything we can do to help them out, because
over the years I've seen a lack of respect for the Guard.
Mm-hmm.
People call them the weekend warriors, and they joke about them,
Mm-hmm.
But they gave a lot to our country.
Sometimes they see more action than active duty.
I know.
Just because the way the politics and where they send people and things like that. And, the weekend warrior mindset and all that's all well and good in peacetime. But when it's not peacetime, which it really hasn't been for the last 20 years, the Guard unit and reserve units, they take a brunt of a lot of what's going on in the world and doing what they do. And that's what I'm saying is just let's take care of our folks there and look in on them, make sure they're okay. If any way they need help, I mean, look in on them. Watch their six. I know they're going to be watching each other's six, but we as a community help watch their six too, and just check in on them.
I hope we have a great turnout Wednesday. And if you do come, there's a Westminster Presbyterian Church is on 2 levels.
Okay.
Their fellowship hall is on the lower level.
Okay.
And park down on the lower level if you can.
Okay.
Because that's where it's going to be, in the fellowship hall.
Very good. And it's real easy. Basically, if you're not familiar with Champion Motorsports, is on the corner of 2nd and was that Sycamore? I think it is.
No. It's west of Sycamore.
Yeah, it's just west of there, but it's right in that area there. If you turn and go like you're going towards the park and all that, you'll see the church there. I think it'll be on your left as you're going.
If you go down that side street, and just keep going straight, you'll drive right in the doors of the church.
Yeah, don't do that. Stop before you hit that part. We don't want another courthouse situation over here. But it's going to be this Wednesday, again, at 1 p.m. Rick Panetta, who is the veterans representative for Congresswoman Yvette Errol, he will be conducting a meeting. But was he thinking about an hour is what we're thinking, roughly? Playing for an hour?
We've had them from 45 minutes up to 2 hours.
Okay, so... Well,
depends on how many questions.
Sure, depends. But if you got a lot, then maybe a little bit longer. But please come out. Rick will be there from 1. Like you said, he's going to be talking to folks about information, things, and then seeking it, and then also asking questions, trying to find out the needs of vets. So if you want to speak to someone as a veteran about your service and the needs of veterans, this is going to be one of those opportunities to get to people that can make a difference. This is the ear of the Congresswoman, and all the good information that Rick's going to gather from this, and all the information he's going to give, it's going to get back to the Congresswoman, and she's going to take that and do her thing.
I talked to Rick on the phone, and he's bringing a gentleman from El Paso with him.
Okay.
Who's very knowledgeable about Veterans Affairs. So.
Okay, dealing with the red tape side of getting your benefits and all that stuff. Yeah. Okay, very good. So please, vets, come out. Come out if you got take a late lunch that day. If you're still working, come on by and come by Westminster Presbyterian Church again. Located off of West 2nd, right behind Champion Motorsports. Get there a few minutes early, get you a good spot. And come with your questions. If you have any questions or information, probably best would be call the Congresswoman's office, probably, or could they call you direct?
Call me direct.
Okay, what's the best number to get a hold of you, Bob?
It's 575-910-4648.
Okay.
4648.
Very good. Give him a call anytime. 2 a.m. He loves it. I'm just kidding. Don't do that to him. Don't do that to him. But if you have any questions, want more information, or better yet, if you're a vet or someone listening and saying, hey, Bob, I love what's going on. I'd like to get involved with you and help you do some of this stuff. I'm sure Bob would love to have more volunteers and more folks helping spread the word and get involved with some of this stuff too.
Well, this is basically handled through the Veterans Council.
Gotcha.
And it's not up to me whether they can be on the council.
Sure,
or not.
but if there's folks that want to help vets, I'm sure you can put them in the right direction for that. So I got a feeling you could find a spot for them.
And there's other options too.
Mm-hmm.
The American Legion Post 28 or 61.
Both of them are great.
If you're not a veteran but your father was, you can come and join the Sons of the American Legion.
If you're a spouse of, be the auxiliary.
Yeah, the auxiliary for your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
Or if your spouse has passed away, and you can still come and join.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a home for you as part of the American Legion,
Right.
there, regardless of if you served or a family member served or something along those lines. There's opportunities, and pretty much any veteran that has served honorably before Pearl or after Pearl Harbor is eligible to become an American Legion. They about 3 years ago maybe they kind of Congress changed that law to where it's pretty much opened up to all veterans, Pearl Harbor on up, that served honorably.
Well, it was originally set up for veterans who were serving during combat time.
Mm-hmm. Now, granted, if there's a few that are alive from World War I left, you're still serving, but they just kind of made that blanket date as veteran served. Yeah,
but now it's any veteran from any time.
Yeah. Doesn't wartime, peacetime. If you put on the uniform and served honorably, the American Legion would love to have you a part of its fold.
And in my opinion, if you put that uniform on, whether you saw combat or not, you're a hero.
Absolutely. The moment you said I do and signed your name over to Uncle Sam there and officially made it so you're not a part of, basically, in essence, and you know this too, that moment you sign on the contract saying you're going to sign away your life for the next 4 or 6 years here, you're giving up your constitutional rights. You're falling under the Uniform Code of Military Justice. You're making a sacrifice. No longer are you under the protection of the Constitution as a military member.
And when you sign up, you don't know if your life is going to be at risk or not.
Absolutely.
That's why I say they're heroes.
Absolutely. You are, and every cog in the wheel is part of the mission. So if even those folks that are like, what'd you do in the military? I was peeling potatoes and making, now, you know what? Army don't moves on its stomach, man. That all of that happens and guess what? When a base is attacked, they're like, oh, there's no combatants there. It's just a bunch of cooks and CE guys. They don't look at that. They're under the same dangers sometimes as the folks in the foxholes. It's all that's served are all that should be honored, and that's how we feel.
Yeah.
So again, one more time, 1:00 this Wednesday at Westminster Presbyterian Church. They're located behind Champion Motorsports on
4th Street.
On 4th Street, right there by right off West 2nd in that area, right there.
The address is 2801 West 4th
West
Street.
4th Street. Very good. Right over there by the park and Champion Motorsports. Can't miss it there.
Right.
But 1:00 when everything will get underway. It's Rick Panetta, who is the new veterans representative for Congresswoman Yvette Harrell, will be there providing information and therefore questions as well, too. So
Correct.
Good deal. Is there anything we missed, Bob? Or we get it all?
Breakfast.
Yeah, I'm ready to eat here. I'm ready to find some food myself. So, Bob, as always, give out your phone number one more time, too, if they have any questions.
575-910-4648.
Very good. Call if you have questions or otherwise. Come on out Wednesday beginning at 1:00. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Just bring yourself.
But ignore what Mike said and don't call me at 2 a.m.
Bob would not appreciate that. I was kidding when I said that part. But for the rest of the time, and don't call him right now. He's still busy. Give him about 5 minutes.
I turned my phone off.
Oh yeah, you won't. You'll get the Bob's voicemail right now, but here in a few minutes it'll turn. Thank you, sir. As always, appreciate what you do, and we look forward to talking again here in the near future with our next events and things coming up. Maybe a few dances as well.
Well, we've got our next event is going to be a late gospel show.
All right.
We wanted to do it on Memorial Day weekend,
but things have to change there. All right.
Yeah, but we're going to do one. It's going to be a very patriotic one.
Okay.
But
we thinking around the 4th time frame or a little later, or
it's going to be on the 26th of this month.
Okay, so here in about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. Yeah. All right. Well, good. Well, we'll get you back on and talk more about that. Okay.
Yeah, if you don't harass me about 2:00 in the morning phone calls.
I make no promises. Thank you, Bob. Take care. We'll see you next time. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. It is 9:49. Let's get you up to date with some local news. Your Sean Hannity update. Quick break before we go. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Now for a Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. New summer hours for the Roswell Rec and Aquatic Center. The indoor pool is open weekdays for lap swimming from 6 to 9, 10:30 to noon, and 5 to 7 p.m. Also, Saturdays from 10 to noon. The outdoor pool is open 7 days a week now from noon to 6. Pool programs include water aerobics on weekdays at 8 and also on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. Water Pilates is also offered on Fridays at 9 a.m. The rec center is open weekdays 6 to 8, Saturdays from 10 to 8, Sundays from noon to 8. A team for the city of Roswell was part of an inspection tour of sites connected to the flooding in South Roswell and Chaves County. The tour started at Two Rivers Reservoir, about 12 miles west of the city. Two Rivers is a 60-year-old flood control project constructed and managed by the Army Corps of Engineers. Rocky Dam was also observed discharging water. It was estimated the water would continue to flow for 7 to 10 days. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo reporting.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
These are Russian hackers that are now attacking our meat industry. The same hackers or same location, Russian, with the Colonial Pipeline. I, for the life of me, don't understand. Our government has been hacked now for like 30 or 40 years. To whatever point they had any computer systems, they've been hacked. And why we have not built up a defensive measure against outside hacking and hackers, I don't know. There's no excuse anymore for this. You know, fool me once, twice, 5, 10, 15, 20 times, shame on you. Fool me 20, 30, 40 years later, shame on us.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Hey, I'm learning so many great things about CBD from my team. Linda, for example, loves it for sleep and relaxation.
Sean, I can't say enough good things about this product, and it really has worked wonders. Gets all that anxiety out of my shoulders, and I go right to sleep at night after I take one of their sleep gummies.
She swears by it, as do many of my friends. It's a natural, healthy alternative to pharmaceuticals. By the way, ask your doctor, and I bet you're going to hear about the potential health benefits of CBD, and that's because it interacts with our regulatory system responsible for sleep and emotional response, inflammation, and even memory. The bottom line is CBD could be your natural path to better sleep, a calm mind, and discomfort after physical activity. They now have over 2 million customers, no prescription required. CB Distillery, the only source we here at the Sean Hannity Show trust. Just go to cbdistillery.com, enter the promo code PATRIOT, and you get my special discount. Just enter the word PATRIOT when you go to cbdistillery.com.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Things will be drying out around our area today, so we should have plenty of sunshine, and temperatures will be hot. Our afternoon high today around 100. Overnight will be clear with low to mid 60s, and then tomorrow's highs between 100 and 103 and sunny. Upper 60s and clear on Tuesday night, then a few more hot days coming up Wednesday and Thursday, low 100s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the SRN News Business Brief, I'm Rich Thomason. France's anti-competition watchdog fining Google $268 million for abusing its dominant position in the online advertising business. China's exports and imports surged last month. Politically sensitive surplus with the U.S. grew as the pandemic wanes in key Western markets.
Customs data shows China's exports rose 28% from a year earlier and imports soared 51%. Meanwhile, growth was leveling off after the country's stunning recovery from last year's slump. The trade surplus with the United States rose 14% to $31.8 billion, while China's trade surplus with the European Union was $12.7 billion.
Correspondent Jeremy House. Wall Street's benchmarks trading mixed at mid-morning, the key averages bouncing between small gains and modest losses. With business, I'm Rich Thomason.
We serve all New Mexico. If you think it's hard to take out a home loan, those rumors are wrong. It's not true. Contact Loan Officer Elliot Rodriguez, MLS number 41002 at CMG Financial, phone number 719-237-4680. At CMG Financial, we can help. Experience extraordinary with CMG Financial, every customer, every time, no exceptions, no excuses. CMG Financial is a registered trade name of CMG Mortgage Incorporated, MLS 1820. CMG Mortgage Incorporated is equal opportunity lender. To verify complete list of states licensed, visit www.mlsconsumersaccess.org.
Equal fair housing is the right for everyone to have access to all housing opportunities without discrimination based on race, religion, national origin, sex, color, familial status, or disability.
So, here we are, smack dab in the middle of Tailgate Nation with a whole summer of fun and adventure in front of us. And here at the Tailgate Nation, Roswell Ford is making it easier than ever for you to trade up during our used car extravaganza. Roswell Ford has the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in southeastern New Mexico, with quality cars and trucks starting at just $5,000. And because demand has never been higher, your trade-in has never been worth more. So if you're upside down, this is a time for you to get back on your feet. We're talking premium, hard-to-find vehicles like Raptor, High Country, Camaro, and Charger. Each one passed a rigorous 139-point inspection. And Roswell Ford gives you a 3-day money-back guarantee so you can buy without being shy. Tailgate Nation is calling, so saddle up, partner. Let's hit the road with a fresh new ride. It's the used car extravaganza at Roswell Ford, the Tailgate Nation at the corner of 9th and Main.
Wakefield Oil Company is a name you can rely on with full service at the pump the way it used to be. You can expect service in just 15 seconds. They offer bulk fuel and oil services and even diesel exhaust fluid. Wakefield Oil Company will deliver to farms, ranches, dairies, the oil fields, and more with dependable service you can count on. So the next time you need service or delivery, go with the name that locals have trusted since 1983. Wakefield Oil Company, 311 South Virginia in Roswell. Let them earn your business.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service also allows me to be there for my community in ways others can't. I help my hometown recover after nature strikes. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country and those I care about safe from threats. I also work with a network of professionals that help me succeed. Also, the Army National Guard's education benefits make getting a higher education a reality. Being an Army National Guard soldier makes living and serving in my community more rewarding every day. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the New Mexico Army National Guard. Aired by the New Mexico Broadcasters Association and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. A group of 12 or more cows is called a flink. If you have only 11 cows, that's called a lot of cow pies. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:58. If you missed any part of our show, you can always go back and check it out at your leisure. Log on to ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel, and you'll have it there for your viewing and listening pleasure. Our interview with Yvette Harrell is up there. You can check that out now. And then we just had Bob Power join us talking all about the vet rep meeting on Wednesday. Again, you can go and watch the whole show right now, but give it about 30 minutes or so for Tanner to separate that interview and then make it available for everybody up there at your leisure. Don't forget, Friday we're going to have a combined show on the road. We're going to be doing not one, not two, but three morning shows, all simulcast together. Sean and myself and Gene Dow, we're all going to be out at the Tunnel to Towers 9/11 Never Forget mobile exhibit, which Thursday it's going to do its escort out here, and then Friday it's going to open to the public and everything else. But we're going to be doing the morning show live out at the exhibit, which is going to be at the City Hall in Artesia, there at Beige Veterans Park, 511 West Texas, beginning, really, they'll do the ceremony on the 11th from 9 to 10, the opening ceremony, and then 10 o'clock till 4 for the next 3-4 days there. It'll be open to the public for everybody. But we're going to be doing the show there at the event on Friday, so tune in for that. All right, that's going to do it for us for today's show. Thank you very much. I can never thank each and every one of you enough for allowing us to be a part of your day. Much appreciated. I hope all of you have an awesome day. We'll talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow with an all-new show. Till then, take care.
Your home for Armed American Radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.